Hello everyone, welcome back to the broadcast. Of course, Minificus, I know you're excited. I'm excited too, for one very good reason. Obviously, this is now, folks, the very last week of our season of the Summer Challenger Split. And of course, there's going to be some exciting games going on here. Of course, the name's Sir Danny. The action will be brought to you by me, and of course, the wonderful Minificus. How are you doing,
hello. It's been another amazing week, of course. So yes, indeed, you are absolutely correct. This is the last week of the Summer Split. And, you know, as always, things can still potentially change. We don't really know. That's exactly why we are here, to see how things progress and see who is going to come out on top in this Southeast Asia region. Of course, a lot of the people in the chat probably already have a good idea as to which team is going to be number one, but still, as we said, sometimes things can be surprising in all the possible senses of that. So let's have a look at the standings and see where we are right now, just to see who is sitting at the top, who is still trying to get there. And in that first position, we do have Cyclone GG with 450 points. It's relatively closely followed by Indian Wolves with 350, so only 100 points behind. And in theory this week, if Cyclone GG wouldn't make it through the round of 16, then it would mean that there is a potential of a change there. But to my knowledge, I think Cyclone GG already have made it past that point, so probably we'll see a few of those games today from them. And of course, further on, we do have Unkilled, the kings of the number 3rd position, still battling it out for those bracket positions in the semis, as well as Saviours with 200 points and Bulls with 125 points and still no logo.
Yeah, come on guys, get yourself a
Bulls.
logo. Look at them folks, like you've got Indian Wolves, Cyclone GG, pretty nice logos. Saviours as well, that's a pretty nice eagle, I'm not going to lie. So it is quite surprising. The Bulls, I mean, this is their first time actually making here in the standings, so they thought, we don't need a logo, we're never going to make it. But of course, now you're here and you're butt naked. Come on guys, get yourself a logo. But anyways, this is an important week here, folks. Obviously, this is now the last week of the Southeast Asia region, but it's important to note that, basically, by this point, Cyclone GG have already booked themselves the ticket to the next Pro Series event.
Exactly. So obviously the team is going to be looking forward to that, but still they have a opportunity to cash in on this last week, and that's exactly what the teams are going to be doing here. A few words about the maps that we're going to see today. Nothing really too surprising. We're going to see old factory, farming complex, and also military warehouse maps that we've seen quite a lot. Actually, we haven't seen farming complex as a second map for a brief moment. Usually it has been Paradise Island, so we're not going to see that, at least in the best of 3 rounds today, but still, I think these maps are pretty balanced, and I think in terms of predicting how the scorelines are going to go, it makes the stuff a bit easier for us. But still, as always, I'm voting for upsets and the underdogs.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We do have a, well, not necessarily a new addition. We have seen this map in the past, but it's now here, Subway Station, King of the Hill. It's also a map we don't get to see too often. It does appear from time to time. And we also have another new thing that I think has also appeared maybe in one of the first weeks we did have here, is going to be Europe Street Team Deathmatch.
Okay.
So,
Right. Well, the map of the Subway Station is going to be played in the best of 5 series, so third, fourth position as well as first, second, and that is going to be the 4th map out of the whole map pool there. So hopefully, as long as it's not clean sweeps, we will see that one. I think it is pretty interesting, just the fact of how narrow it is, and it's pretty much like a vertical battle ongoing continuously, right?
Yeah.
We are still waiting for teams to go through the brackets just so we have a clear idea as to who is going to be playing in the semis. I really don't know at this point if are we going to see some sort of match? Yeah, we're going to have a look at the quarterfinal game.
Yeah, the quarterfinal matchup before we can actually delve into the good stuff. And obviously the good stuff is obviously going to be top 4. And from what I've been told, it's probably going to be Saviours against Crazy Bastards.
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 I don't know. We'll see as to how these teams are going to be playing. So it is going to be construction site, what I'm hearing from the production team. So would be interested to have a look at that and just to see how these teams are like battling their way. Usually we just jump in straight into the semis, and meaning we don't really see much of the action happening, but there is a huge behind the scenes, and hopefully some of the people in chat are following as well. Let us know your predictions already about today, but before that, let's have a look at the construction side and see how Saviours are doing, and can they make it into the semis, or will they stopped by an, well, so far on the stream, unseen force?
Yeah, crazy basers. We haven't seen much out of them. But as we do see, it is going to be some fights going on here in the mid portion of the map. It's going to be Sammy, it's going to be White Devil picking up all the eliminations here. White Devil, did he see the player walk on through? Yes, he did. There were some good eliminations being picked up here by Saviours, and suddenly here in Team Deathmatch, pretty formidable lead by 60 points.
Exactly. Sammy here is going to group up together with White Devil and Rocky. Rocky just spotted so many opponents, was forced to fall back there. As you can see, Nilo now making his way forward together with Just a Game. They both pick up a few eliminations here, and White Devil is going to fall as well so far. Saviours not leaving the biggest of leads, but still roughly about 40 points in front. That grenade does connect, but still King stays alive, only now taken by Just a Game. Moving forward here, I think he's slightly overstepping his boundaries, and of course he runs into 3 opponents there, so really need to think about the opponents just behind the corners here. So 3 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock here. 40-point lead by Saviours. Nilo does find one more opening for his team, and Just is able to follow up here.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation. I thought it's going to be a wipeout here. White Devil, nice G-Launcher coming in. But as we do see, Crazy Basers obviously coming into this one, not necessarily prepared, but able to put up a fight. Of course, you're going up against Saviours, and that is a bit problematic. However, this is not the one side of the affair I was looking forward to, because there's some good eliminations being picked up. A double elimination by Just. G-Launcher coming in, but it does not connect. And as we do see, we're now Crazy Basers. I can't believe I'm saying this one, but they're in the lead for a very short period of time.
Exactly. Now, White Devil and King coming in, picking up a few eliminations for themselves as well here. White Devil, just continuous firepower coming out from this guy. And I'm surprised by Just a Game with that shotgun up close, but very quickly, again, Saviours are able to come back, and that G-Launcher connected hugely there. Sammy, though, with the perfect aim, shows who's better with the weaponry at this moment. So 2 minutes 45 seconds here, 40-point lead still for Saviours. All things could change, and Crazy Basers could come up here. Another elimination comes through in their favor. Rocky yet again is going to be able to trade here with the sniper. Does get a double elimination. King also instantly picking one more up, and now Crazy Bastards are on the back foot here.
Obviously, this being Team Deathmatch, but at this point, Saviours don't even have to play this one aggressively, and we do see they're playing this one safely. They're holding the angles, they're holding the corners, they're waiting for Crazy Basers to come into their position, but there's going to be Nilo taking down Sammy. King is just having a dance over here. He doesn't seem to be too focused on the game here, and I can't really blame him already. They seem to be in such a formidable position to secure themselves the W, but of course, there's some good eliminations coming out there from Lion, and of course, from I'm Not. And with this point, Saviours, I mean, they're just dwindling down the clock. I can't really blame them for this strategy. They're trying to dwindle down the clock, but they're going for the eliminations. You have to be careful about this point. Just a Game coming in, but he's being taken out. Crazy Bastards, there's only a 70-point difference between the two teams, and White Devil going for the plays, but he's being shut down.
Yeah, the point gap is not that big right now, so still Crazy Bastards could theoretically do this, but seeing the eliminations just coming through, all of them do connect in favor of Saviours here, and this should be it between these two in map number 1. Looking at this, really Crazy Bastards need a perfect wipe on top of that, so this is still a quarterfinals game, right? So this is only semis. Excuse me, quarterfinals. There we go.
Yeah, obviously this is the quarterfinal matchup, and this is now going to be the first map victory, We're of course going to know which is going to be the second map here. Here in the quarterfinals, obviously, this is looking interesting here. Obviously, you're thinking, okay, who are these guys? We don't really know much about them, but the fact that they commit here to play, and the fact that they were able to take down one of these maps, well, not necessarily take it down, sorry, but making it close was quite surprising. I did not expect that from Crazy Bastards.
Well, I think the map is favorable in the sense that it's quite balanced as long as nobody really over abuses the middle part of the map. Like as you saw White Devil there, he was just continuously able to post himself up close, lay down the firepower, at least tag heavily the opponents, and then afterwards the teammates were just able to follow up, especially with Sammy on that right-hand side with the sniper rifle, just finding straight shots, really nothing in his way, as well as the opponent really doesn't have any much cover there, and if he moves into the middle part, there's going to be White Devil standing and just greeting you with shotguns or up-close rifle, right? So it is a bit of a difficult task in terms of coming back into this map, especially when you saw there that, well, Saviours sort of almost felt their victory at one point. Sammy laying down the dances there as well, just behind the corner, making the little music pop up and making it ever so more difficult for Crazy Bastards by just taking the clock down to a minimum.
Yeah, that's one of the things we can definitely mention, because Saviours, they were winning the game, they were looking very comfortable at securing themselves the W, but of course at one point they were able to get themselves, making it kind of close there on the map, and of course by making things relatively close, at the end of it all, Saviours decide, okay, we don't want to play this one too aggressively, let's just secure the W, let's get back in the base, let's hold some very good angles, have a little bit of a dance, and secure ourselves the W.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about the next match that we're going to jump in quickly. It's going to be a round of 16 military warehouse game between Unkilled and Prestigious. So actually, both of these teams are very good, right? Unkilled sitting at the third position. Prestigious is a team that we've seen a lot from, especially during the spring split. And now they are going to be battling for the position in the semis, right? For the advancing further on in the brackets, and it's very crucial for the Unkilled to actually secure the victory here in order for them to be still able to battle it out for the cash prizes.
Yeah, that's the one thing. It's obviously, well, let's keep it real here, folks. You're not going to secure yourself the victory here because obviously Cyclone GG have already booked the tickets. I'm almost certain they already know where they're going to be staying, all of that jazz.
Can Cyclone GG just send him a shirt already with their logo or
something? Wait, figures. Let's just talk about the game for now. No need for any shirts. I do believe that merch is nice, though. I don't know the link, however. But anyways, obviously they're prepared for their Cologne trip. Pardon me, not the Cologne trip, but the trip there for the Pro Series Finals. But there is one thing you can mention. Obviously, this is a good opportunity as any to, face off your opponents, secure yourself a better spot, a high seed as possible in the scoreboard, and still, get some of that money. You're obviously not going to get yourself a possibility to go to the Pro Series, that's for sure, that's for certain, but you can still secure yourself some money, have a chance to play some Guns of Boom, and what else can be better than that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the reason why we are here, right?
Absolutely.
Guns of Boom, the best reason why to be here. So, right, let's hopefully the guys have already jumped into the server because I'm really keen to see how these teams are going to be advancing here. And again, a team deathmatch map between these two. It's slightly hard to say how it goes, right? Unkilled are really good at early games. Prestigious have shown that they have good stability and like very good common sense in terms of how they try to come back into the match. So it's not really completely over, even if Unkilled run away with a good start here, at least in my opinion, because I think they're on even grounds, even though Unkilled in the long run, at least in the summer split, have obviously prevailed, but that still doesn't give them any right in terms of already crowning themselves winners of this match.
And obviously, it's Team Deathmatch. That's the one thing we could talk about. Team Deathmatch, you don't necessarily will see someone winning themselves 500-0. That never happens. You always will be seeing the victories here. Someone's going to be able to come out on top. Someone's going to take the L, and we could see a close game. Of course, here, folks, here we are, Military Warehouse Team Deathmatch.
All right, let's see how this one goes between these two already very known names. Mighty here as well, laying down the first shots. There's a grenade on the ground. Doesn't really connect right now. And Tekken making that first strike instantly. Chattery and PD coming up. PD even gets a double elimination there. That's a very nice early point lead for Prestigious and instantly sets Unkilled on a back foot there. They are forced to reset. And Chattery, you can see he's already waiting to make a quick peek and see if he can get a heavy tag in there.
Yeah, right now, cool, overlooking things. You're always going up close with a sniper. Maybe not the best choice, but PD, he's come in the back lines. He's able to find so much good work there. I think that was even a triple elimination. And look at this. That is a great point gap right now for Prestigious. They can play this one safe.
4 minutes on the clock right now, and Unkilled, they need to start to find these openings, and Boxer will fall to Cole Buddy here. And Buddy's going to be moving forward here as well. They go for a push right now, and it's actually working out in their favor. Prestigious still in the lead. Rakesh now able to take down Chatri. Needs to stay alive here, needs to regroup with his team, and PD is just unstoppable right now. Coming up in the open, just doesn't care. Even the grenade on the ground, so much health lost on the side of Unkilled, but still they are left standing.
Oh, Chatri coming in with another flank, but he's been spotted out. That's going to be Gundrak taking down the elimination. And with this point Unkilled, You see that they're trying to find some of these eliminations here, but they're finding themselves in a difficult spot. Of course, they need to commit to the gunfights. Tekken trying to get up close and personal with the Blade Master, but it simply won't connect. Prestigious, once they secure themselves that early lead, they're able to keep up the pressure, and Unkilled, they're finding it very difficult to get back into this game.
And this is exactly what I was talking about, Unkilled, right? They're really good in the early game, but we've seen it so many times before as well, where they seem to fall off from starting from the middle point of the match, which we are in right now. PD there as well, charging into 3 opponents. That's not really something that's going to find you great success. Mighty now finding openings. Charity as well picks up an elimination here, and only Gunrag right now able to retaliate. Tekken joins his force as well, and yet another double peak sort of coming out from Prestigious, but they tend to stick slightly on the back foot. They're understandable that they are leading by 50 points. No real point of overextending their lead right now. Rakesh as well playing a dangerous game, not having any armor there. G-Launcher comes out, doesn't connect, and Cool Buddy sees how all of his team is just falling absolutely apart. Unkilled are starting to close the point gap here. Only 20 points right now with 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Rakesh finding that elimination. Finally, it evens out the scoreline.
That was such an important elimination for Rakesh to pick up because the man was already sitting at Merciless. Of course, Prestigious, they're going to try to make one more attempt here. Tekken, oh, he's scary, all right. He's picking up all the eliminations here. But by this point, Prestigious, there's still a chance they can keep up with the pressure. But Unkilled, they've finally done it. Now they're in the lead. Can they keep it up? No. Shotri will get the better of Rakesh, but he's so low in HP. Gunrag needs to hold this one down with the communication. No one even decides to check that corner. Meanwhile, Prestigious, 30 points lead. This is good right now. But as we do see, of course, Unkilled want to try to bounce back. Boxer does take down Cool Buddy. They need to find the eliminations ASAP. Gunrag, he's pulled out the sniper rifle, and so has Chatri. He's out here with the Barracuda, and PD overlooking this part of the map, hoping to anticipate some sort of flank coming in so that he could punish it.
And since everything is on the line here for Prestigious in terms of just getting 2 more eliminations here, that's it. There's one coming through for Cool Buddy, and that G-Launcher somehow didn't connect. Boxer came up with a double elimination, and again, the scoreline is even. 1 minute and 10 seconds on the clock here. Chattery absolutely needs to stay alive, and same for Tekken here. He does spot a few of his opponents, and wisely doesn't really overstep that boundary. Now needs to fall off here, and Chattery will pick him up, and that is going to be the victory still for Prestigious at the very end there with that final elimination. And I must say, Prestigious, in a round of 16 match, this really felt like a semi-final game.
It could very easily even be a grand final game, if I'm being honest. This was very close. This was neck-and-neck action. Obviously, it just came down to that one measly elimination.
Yeah.
It could have gone either way. Now, I do believe it went in favor of Prestigious. Yes, they're able to secure the victory here, but this is now looking like a very interesting series. Of course, I do believe this is a best-of-3 right in the stage.
Yeah,
it's going to be
it is.
a best-of-3 affair, and because of it, like, we're still up for maybe at the one map at the very minimum, maybe even a free map, or just how close the first map was.
You know what really sort of surprised me from Unkilled, especially from their roster, speaking about a particular player, it is Gunnar. Like, I mean, he's sitting on top amount of eliminations during this split. He also has one of the highest eliminations per game statistics, so he's on average at 8.9, meaning that, like, he's really a good player individually, but somehow it just simply didn't shine through in this match.
Yeah, he wasn't able to find too much impact here. Of course, by this case, maybe it comes down to this being, one of the earlier games here. This is still one of the early games here. Top 16 we're talking about. So obviously, whilst you make your way to the semifinals, you're already warmed up. You're ready for some more Guns Boom action. Maybe still feeling kind of cold. Maybe still needs to warm up. Maybe that was one of the main reasons they ended up losing the first map.
All right, well, let's have a look at the brackets, though, and see what we have come up with so far and which teams already have made it into the semis, just to see what sort of games we're going to have on our hands. And it is going to be the first pair of Cyclone GG versus Saviours. Right, so for Saviours, this is going to be a tall order, and like specifically the Cyclone GG sitting at the very top here. Obviously, they are going to still battle it out with full force, meaning that it's going to be ever so more difficult for Saviours to climb, especially that they are sitting currently at the 4th position with 200 points in the standings.
You said that full force. At first, they thought like, yeah, that definitely makes sense, but does it, though? I mean, by this point, they've already secured themselves a slot for the Pro Series event. So maybe they're obviously going to play here. Don't doubt about that one, folks. But I don't think it's going to be full force,
You think it's
though.
just going to be dances all around?
Maybe not dances all throughout. I don't think we're going to be seeing any of that. Maybe a couple dances, sure. But obviously, game is not that important for them. It's important. It's prestige. It's money in their pockets. Completely understandable in that regard. But
Yeah.
I don't think the engine is going to be revved up. I don't think there's going to be, 100% from them. I think it's still going to be a formidable game, just how the individuals are able to play and how they have been able to play throughout the summer series. But I don't think it's going to be as clean or as good.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that will play out. In the second pair, though, in the second semifinals, we are going to have Indian Wolves going up against most likely either Prestigious or Unkilled, and we'll need to find out how that one still plays out. Theoretically, also Dracarys could come through there. So, like, it is still a pretty interesting round of 16, round of 8 positions right now for these teams, and obviously for Indian Wolves as well, not really knowing which opponent you are still going up against, but having the likes, playing against the likes of Unkilled and Prestigious and Dracarys as well, most likely, probably somewhere closer to that round of 16 in the previous weeks. I think they have a good idea how they want to approach their opponents. It's just going to be a matter of how exactly is going to lay down in terms of who's the better player today, who's feeling well, who's not feeling so well, and who's going to be able to perform the best. So overall, looking at the semis, I can't say I'm really too surprised, but once again, I really feel like the Saviours there as well must feel like at some point that they have just been continuously dealt a bad card. Like, it's not the first time they're going up against Cyclone GG, and going up against them again,
and again,
and again, it probably feels like just a wall that you have to at least jump once. And hopefully it's going to be today. I really feel like Saviours can do it. We've seen so many upsets before as well, where teams go neck and neck, even though on paper they shouldn't be able to do that. And I still do not disregard Saviours out of this matchup. But I must agree that most likely the individual skill of Cyclone GG would prevail here.
Yeah, we can even roll back the years. Well, not the years. Let's be real. The months, okay? So if we roll back the months, and we remember there was the end of the Spring Challenger Series, and I do believe that was the game where, in fact, Unkilled, this third-best team, was able to secure the victory against Cyclone. You're thinking, what on earth is this? How are they able to pull it off? And, of course, from that victory, we did see roster change. We obviously did see the players skilled joining Indian Wolves from that point onward. And, Indian Wolves consistently with this new pickup, this new fresh player, they've been able to stay pretty much consistently on that second, on that second spot, on that platter there. So, obviously, there is some talent out there below. And I think one of the ways you can prove yourselves is by the end of the season, right? We come out here at the end of the season, maybe the big boys not too focused, but maybe you, the underdog, can pull through.
Well, I think everyone wants to finish off a season on a good note, right? It gives you, first of all, inspiration to move forward, to practice more, to think ahead, and see what things are going to change. Obviously, Guns of Boom is as well a game that has a lot of updates. Now you have that new game mode, the Brawl, where you can have different sort of boost ups. So you get speed, shields, extra damage, and I actually tried it behind the scenes before we started. It's actually quite fun, I must add, but I don't really feel the speed boost up that much. But the armor definitely you can feel once you've picked it up, because it's like, you can't.
How are you doing on the leagues, buddy?
Better than you are.
Wait, what are you now?
I am going to absolutely lie, and I'm going to say that I'm Gold 5. It doesn't exist, but it's fine. I'm there.
Well,
all right. If I'm absolutely honest, I'm still Gold 1, but
it's not bad.
I don't
you're
have that much time.
climbing up the ranks. You started from the bottom. Now you're here. You can definitely keep on moving forward. I see that being possible. I see Beneficus that you're going to be sitting at the top 500 easily.
I'm going for that insignia.
Absolutely. Top 500. I can now see it in your face, in your eyes, how you can secure that victory. Play against the likes of, I don't know, let's say Gentrix out there from the North American region. And why not? I definitely see you being pretty good.
Do you want to make a little competition and see who's
going to win first?
No, let's see who gets the highest rank by the end of next split.
Ooh. Ooh, wow.
But it has to be
that's
like,
a wager.
That's a wager, so it has to be like a serious bet. So we need to figure out what exactly can we do afterwards. Well, the loser.
The loser, of course. Hey, hey. No. I will see about that, though. Obviously, because the end of the season is coming out here, I guess we can actually begin to talk about like some of the players that have really been, seeing them play, seeing them
Yeah.
grow. Well, we can definitely, like, one of the mentions, obviously, we did have Gunrak, and for
Yes.
very good reason. He has himself the highest amount of eliminations. That is at 447. Below him is going to be, in fact, Blaze from Cyclone GG, like from the top team, and he's only sitting at 413. So definitely the elimination margin matters quite a bit.
It's not only about eliminations, it's
That is
also
true.
score-wise, right? So score-wise as well, Gunrag and Blaze both are sitting at first and second position accordingly. And like for Blaze, I want to mention, like, if Gunrag tends to have games where he doesn't stand out, I really feel like that Blaze is just super stable in the way how he approaches his game. Like, he might not be top game all the time, but at least the consistency is there for him. And as far as I've seen throughout these matches, it doesn't really tend to fall off, perhaps like on one map during 1 week, but that's pretty much it. Most of the time you actually see him sitting at the very top there, and you see Blaze on the MVP screen so many times. It's just, ridiculous at times. So we are getting information that Unkilled versus prestigious match there, the second game was taken by Unkilled, meaning that they are sitting at a 1-1 score right now, and it is all going to be decided in that last map that they're going to be playing between them two, meaning that Indian Wolves still don't know who they're going to play.
Yeah, oh shucks. I wanted to see that second map of the best of three, but oh well. I guess we just can continue on talking. Like, let's actually try to make, let's talk about some of the players here we have seen throughout the Summer Challenger Series. Who would you rate as, like, the top three players that have really been surprising you throughout this Summer Challenger split?
I was surprised by White Devil in in the way, in the way that. Excuse me, I just completely lost my train of thought.
Don't worry, we have
like,
though.
I was surprised that when he came up, right, he just had these marvelous, like, 3, 4, 5 games. Then he sort of fell off. Then he has, like, brilliant moments of brilliance, and then afterwards, it's sort of a backwards and forwards game with him. But when the games actually go his way, he seems to be pretty unstoppable at that. And I really think it's just a matter of perhaps a bit more practicing to get the consistency down the line. But he definitely has shed some light in terms of how there is new talent uprising. So I think White Devil would be one of the people that has surprised me.
And of course, I'd like to extend the invitation here for the players. Please, let's get onto the server. Let's make this game happen. Let's see some beautiful, some Guns of Boom action. Of course,
the players are not joining the server. They're watching the stream. So please, let's get it on.
I know that we too are beautiful
We got
gentlemen.
games to watch, man.
Yeah, we know that we are beautiful gentlemen. You want to see us? That's fine. But of course, folks, let's see some Guns of Boom action. That's why we're here for it. Of course, the semis going to be looking very nice, very spicy.
I mean, I've casted quite a few games in a lot of various disciplines, and this is probably the first time where we're actually be in a position where we need to invite the players from the chat to join the server. Yeah, but it's still in a good way, right? The players obviously want to join in, see who they're spying on their fan base, right? They want to come in and see in the chat who is supporting them. So make sure you do let them know the players are there, and if you get lucky, they might even respond to you. So Cyclone GG versus Saviours. This is going to be the match that we are going to be looking at. Once again, it is going to be a best of 3. Once again, it's going to be maps that we have seen before. So it is going to be Old Factory, Farming Complex, and Military Warehouse. Kicking things off with Old Factory.
Yeah.
Between the two, I really feel like that Cyclone GG probably are going to be feeling quite stable, and I really don't think they're going to be starting things off aggressively. I think they're just going to keep their boundaries, like, not really overstep, like sort of the mid portion of the map too many times, because it's really, there's no point in that, and they really want to force Saviours into a position where they need to make the move. And then afterwards, like for a team like Cyclone, it's probably just easier in that sense to play reactively, because essentially they really should know how to deal with any single situation that's thrown at them.
But at the same time, this is going to be just the very first map of the best of 3. So I think it would be, even also kind of makes sense to just test out the waters, see how it goes, see the approach of your opponents. If they're playing aggressively, maybe then they can change up the pace.
In the sense that trying out new things, yes, I do agree, but we haven't really seen that happening here. Like, when was the last time you saw a team jumping into the match and then you're like, they have never done this before? Never. Like, there hasn't been a single time where a team that at least we've seen so far here in the Southeast Asia region has joined the server and you're like, okay, that's new.
I mean, there have been moments, though.
There have been moments, yes, but like,
Moments.
okay, well, I would like to see a
You want to jog my memory?
like a 4G launcher start.
Jump in G launcher start. Well, we'll see if that's going to be the possibility. But of course, guys, what is possible is to see our very first semifinal today. We are going to be jumping into relatively quickly. And of course, we can make some predictions. So what do you think of it, Ficus? Who is going to take the W?
I'm going to say it is going to be a 2-against-1 victory here for Cyclone GG, but as always, surprises can happen here, and on an old factory, if you abuse that elevated surface towards the middle part of the map and get a few decent sniper shots in, you never know how things are going to play out. But Heisenberg here is losing his health very quickly. King, though, now in the meantime, is going to fall to Exhorter, and that is going to be the first strike. The follow-up there as well for Cyclone, and only Rocky so far able to respond.
They're doing the emotes.
Gunner
They're doing
is
the emotes mid-battleground. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, your prediction, I agree with it. 2-1 seems to be very feasible, but we'll see. Saviours have come out here to play, not to dance and make friends. It is going to be some eliminations going through. Sammy even gets the merciless one, but there's going to be a triple elimination there. And with this point, Cyclone GG, they're in the lead. They had their quick dance. Actually, no, they're going to continue on dancing, and they have themselves the lead.
All right, well, good spirits for Cyclone GG, as you can see. Exhorter there as well, just taunting his opponents, and with the perfect aim there, even gets Sammy, and that must hurt for you, especially if you saw the dance there. King, though, not really willing to give things up, and in the meantime, Heisenberg just enjoying the beautiful view of the forklift there.
As we do see Heisenberg going in for the aggressive plays, but Sammy and Rocky will reply. So there is still a chance Saviours might make this one close, and it is kind of close for now. It is going to be an elimination coming through, and of course the Blade Master, extra points here for Cyclone, whereas Saviours, I mean, they need to bounce back here somehow. Exhorter gets himself the G-Launcher here. There's a lot of dancing going on here. I don't know if this is Dance Central or this is Guns of Boom.
No, they just figured finally to have good fun with the game, and I don't even know how to call it.
Yeah, how'd you call that?
No clue. In the meantime, Sammy in the background together with White Devil trying to get a few more eliminations through. Still 80-point lead for Cyclone GG right now. Heisenberg goes for the Blade Master there, but White Devil finds his blade to be a bit more sturdy here. King is going to fall, trying to battle 3 opponents at the same time, so probably not the best of approaches right now. And you can see that Saviours really are trying to do this more individually instead of trying to play together. And this is exactly what Cyclone GG were hoping for, because it gives you more opportunities for those dance moves.
True. Actually, no. Scratch that. It's not Dance Central. This is just dance. That's what we're seeing right now. Saviours, of course, they want to find some of those eliminations. They'll party later. For now, they want to try to find something. King is able to spot out, I think, a couple players there. But by this point, if you're Cyclone, looks like they're not too content with even going for the gunfights. If you're Saviours, they're thinking, what's going on here? Can we play the game? No? Okay, dance off. Sure.
It's just Heisenberg. Oh, we have the Asia theme coming in here. Excellent animation. Well, in the meantime, Sammy will be able to pick up one more elimination. 84 points in the lead for Cyclone GG. 2 minutes on the clock, and it looks like that Cyclone GG want to close it out now with that push forward. The elimination streak comes through for Exhorter here as well, and instantly yet another emoticon down on the ground. Sammy's in a lot of trouble here. Doesn't even connect with the Blade Master. Is going to fall to Heisenberg, and as Heisenberg comes through with a double elimination here, doesn't get the triple, and King Rocky able to reply, but only one more elimination needed for Cyclone GG.
Oh, can't make it done.
King responds with his own moves. It's just like a completely different game right now.
Yeah, it's this is not Guns of Boom. This is more like, I don't know, Dance of Boom. That doesn't sound right.
Dance of Boom.
that does not sound right.
No.
Of course, by this point, Cyclone, they even secure the victory here. They're gonna get themselves the W here on the first map. It was very exciting to see some of those dance moves, but most importantly, eliminations as well.
Yeah, it's obviously all in good fun, but doesn't really leave us with too much to comment about in terms of the actual battle. Still, though, this does show that Cyclone GG obviously are, as I already said previously, first of all, in very good spirit. Second of all, they are super confident that they are taking this one, securing the old factory match, and they are going to be moving into farming complex control points. Now, talking about control points, We've seen how this one goes so many times before, especially on Farming Complex. The triple cap is not out of the question at all, and most likely that a Cyclone GG yet again will establish good control here early on. A lot of the times you see the teams going for that A capture point first, just because it's a bit more neutral, at least in the very beginning, because most of the teams tend to go for that B point just to establish it, because obviously it's usually very hectic towards the middle.
And at this point, in fact, we have seen moments in which, if I recall correctly, Cyclone GG has crumbled on this map. This is, in fact, I think, one of the maps on which you will see the underdog actually even securing the victory. But for now, folks, let's actually take a look at the MVP screen. Who are the MVPs? Who are the best dancers in this game? It looks like it is going to be X-Hoarder here for Cyclone GG, sitting at 180 score, 9 breakdance moves, 7 B-boy freeze, and 6, what you call them?
What?
6, what's the dance move? I don't know. 6 shuffles. Let's put it at that.
6 shuffles. Okay, well, for Saviours, it was King with 110 points, 8 eliminations, 5 assists, and 7 deaths here. So King obviously tried his best and even did manage to respond a few of his moves on his own. But obviously here for that first map, Cyclone GG closed it out in a very nice, easy fashion. So moving forward for Farming Complex, you already started to talk about that Cyclone GG have crumbled here before. And I do agree that, yes, you can lose control on this map quite quickly, but because the points are spread out a bit more wider, it is still relatively easy to overtake the pace of the game. It's not the likes of Atrium where it's just
constant action.
It's just constant action, right, all around the board, and especially having that triple cap that we saw last week as well on Atrium. That was super interesting, and hopefully we'll get to see another triple here on Farming Complex, because, you know, once you hit that triple, the points just skyrocket, basically. If you can hold on to a triple cap for about half a minute there, you are going to already have like a 200-point lead, basically, just off of that alone.
Yeah, it's definitely massive. And by that point, obviously, by holding on to the points, you need to find some of those eliminations. If you find the eliminations as well, that's it. That's basically game over, or shall I say, game victory for you. So by this point, obviously, Farming Complex, we've established you want to get yourself the lead as early as possible, capture some of the points here, as many as possible, but at the same time, you got to wonder, you know, this is a map in which you can still say Saviours seems to be kind of like the underdog.
Yeah.
If you're the underdog, are you going to be going for like straight up B cap, or are you thinking of actually going for the sides first, or even finding for the eliminations and then going for the caps?
I think the best option would be trying to split and battle out sidewise, so like A and C capture point, just in the sense that at least you're going to obtain control over one of those, and in the process, if your teammates fall off, they can move closer to whichever capture point is already in your control and battle for the second one right next to it, instead of just like continuously splitting on. So the initial split is fine in my opinion, but afterwards you really need to like group yourself towards one part of the map and then like transfer-wise through the map, like transition that way, horizontally, if that makes sense. But yeah, like at least that's how obviously a pretty default approach, but I think that should work relatively good here. Of course, it does come down to, at the end of it all, in terms of how the eliminations are gotten and like how the connections are made, what sort of health you're remaining on, what sort of weaponry the opponents are using, and so on. You actually don't see that many sniper rifles coming out on this map. Players usually tend to go for those close battle shotguns, as well as, of course, the assault rifles, ever so popular. But especially if you are having issues like with capturing the B capture point, I think a sniper rifle in the backlines and having like 2 of your teammates in front going into the B capture point is something that could be tested here.
Yeah, I mean, one of the instances you can see sniper rifle being popped up. If you do have like scout, it gives you some of that extra movement speed. But primarily, if you're going to be sniping, you need to be stationary. On control points, that is super difficult. Primarily, everything can change in the matter of seconds. You might have to hold right now. You're holding the A control point, but your buddies are giving you the information. There's an attack on C. We need backup ASAP, and then you have to make the quick rotation on that part of the map. So obviously, playing with the sniper rifles isn't worth it. Obviously, it is worth it to some extent, really depending on the sort of position you're in. There's a lot of caveats coming into play. Obviously, you're primarily going to be using the shotguns, the assault rifles, and I'm sorry, machine guns, out of the picture.
Out of the picture, absolutely. It just slows you too much down, and like you can't really run away or engage in a way where you would feel that you have the upper hand, right? That's the main point.
I definitely agree with it. I kind of understand the use behind it. Look, machine gun It allows you to be stationary at one point. It got loads of bullets, and you're able to shred your opponents like paper.
Yeah, you're basically a turret.
Yeah, you're basically a turret, but the problem is you do have weapons who have better fire rate. We're able to deal more damage per shot, and you're just going to be picking up those weapons instead because of the pace of Guns of Boom. So the machine guns, as sad as I may say it, they're kind of obsolete here in the game.
Kind of obsolete. Well, we are still waiting for the players to jump into Farming Complex.
Yeah.
And like as well, it's a map that we've seen so many times before. I really feel like that we need like the same subway station in the best of threes, not the best of fives. It would make it a bit more interesting in that sense, as well as like think of it this way: opening things up with Atrium.
That's spicy.
That would be very spicy. At least I'm hoping it is going to happen in the next split, but the map rotation, as far as I know, is set at random, so it just changes for different rounds being played out and also for the different weeks. Still, these teams are battling out for good monies here, so as we spoke about before here as well, Cyclone GG obviously are feeling very confident about their victory. But it is worth putting in that extra effort, especially on Farming Complex. You really don't want to let this one go, because having the third map of military warehouse in a team deathmatch mode, like we've seen it go sideways so many times before for a lot of the teams here. So let's see how control points go between Cyclone GG and Saviours, and will Saviours able to be put up a map and go into that third one, or is this going to be it and Cyclone GG will move forward here? The first shots are going to be made, and Sammy is going to be the one who's going to make the first strike, but instantly King and Sammy as well as Rocky will fall. That's a double elimination there for Exorder. And just making it rain on that A capture point. The B capture point is already in control of Cyclone GG as well here, almost going for that triple cap, but now with the contest coming through from Saviours here, things might just change.
Yeah, they are able to capture the A control point, Saviours, but they've left middle completely open. Gunner's going to take down one, and it's also now being captured. But at this point, there's a bit of a flank going on here. White Devil doesn't even anticipate Gunner to be in that position. Of course, there's going to be a recapture coming in here from Cyclone on the A point, but you do have the forces moving in there towards C. There's going to be a capture for Saviours, as we do see it is, of course, Blaze trying to hold things down, but he should be, and in fact, no, he does not go down. The Blade Master connects the G-Launcher as well, damage being dealt, and of course there's multiple gunfights going on right there on the C control point, but also the A. It is being captured right now by Sammy.
Cyclone in the lead with 220 points, 3 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. Triple elimination for Heisenberg, and Gunnar even finds a G-Launcher elimination onto White Devil here. King now towards that A capture point. That is going to be taken by Xavier, so at least some sort of control remaining for Xavier's here, but very quickly King will fall, Sammy as well, and this gives the opening for Cyclone GG to go for that triple cap. Heisenberg absolutely uncontested right now on the A control point. Rocky coming in here, needs to stay alive or drag out the time long enough for his team to arrive. White Devil now with the grenade, and Sammy gets a double elimination here. Exorder will fall as well, and only Gunner now able to retaliate. Still Cyclone GG a very huge lead right now, and Rocky needs to get this A point.
Yeah, Rocky now is going to be able to capture it though, whereas Cyclone, for them, all they can be satisfied is by holding the B control point. If they could continue to find eliminations, that could be enough. But no, they're going for more. Not only are they finding the eliminations, but it's B and C being controlled here by Cyclone. King should be going down here. The Blade Master sure does connect. And we even see a player here. Look at Blaze. This is such a sneaky position to be in, but he does go down to the process still. If Saviours, they're in the fight. They're now going to try to capture C, and if Exorder goes down in this position, he might also be the one to allow Saviours to capture B, but that's not the case. Gunner, Heisenberg, Exorder, you name them, they got them all. All the eliminations here for Cyclone.
Heisenberg even gets a cheeky dance in there, and the final push now commences from Saviours here. This is the make it or break it point for them. They have found 2 eliminations here, so that's an opening to recapture the A point. But Gunnar and Exorder have a different idea as they very quickly come in and clean up, and that is going to be Cyclone GG securing the second victory here in this best of 3, meaning they will be moving on into the grand finals, and Saviours are going to be forced to battle it out for that 3rd, 4th place position.
Well, not necessarily the result we were looking for. We thought Saviours, this is their chance, this is their opportunity when they might secure themselves the victory here. Well, not necessarily best of 3-1, but at least take away one map here from Cyclone, and that was not the case. I would think it's safe to say that they weren't playing full strength, though.
What are you implying, Danny?
Is that this is not 100% here from Cyclone. because this is not 100%,
I
they're
think
dancing around.
I think we saw that quite clearly on the first map, that it wasn't 100% effort coming out from them. And this also, again, like, I cannot stress this enough. Like, when you're looking at, like, a top 5 team, a pool of top 5, top 6, top 8, whatever amount of teams in the region, and seeing the level difference in the sense of the game, it's quite puzzling at times how others have not caught up. And the second part is like a follow-up question perhaps to you, Danny. What do you think is the biggest reason for it, right? Is it just the fact that teams are not analyzing their games enough, or is it just pure mechanical skill difference?
I think primarily, especially in a game like Guns of Boom, for now it is mechanical skill. We still haven't really seen like some very deep strat book coming out from either of the teams. I think it just comes down to mechanical skill. If you put in more hours, chances are you're going to be better than the player. Of course, maybe there's going to be some Whisket coming out here who's only played like a couple hours of Guns of Boom and is already like a top 500 player. Maybe that's going to be a possibility for the future. But for now, if you're a team that's going to try to rise into the rankings, I think one of the ways to go about it is by having as many skilled individuals as possible. Then once you've got the skilled individuals, and you see that you can sometimes pull off the upset victory from time to time, then you go to the next level, bringing in the tactics.
Bringing in the tactics, only then.
The strat books.
The strat books, yeah. I used to have a little book of tactics written down always. I actually still have it somewhere back at home. So while we are still waiting for the second semi-final to happen, I think we are going to have a brief look in one more of the quarterfinals game. And if I'm hearing correctly, we do have a subway station game happening right now. And to my knowledge, Unkilled are actually not going to be making into the semis. It's actually Prestigious who came out on top in that best of 3, meaning that Prestigious are currently battling it out, are going to be battling it out for that position to play against Indian Wolves. And they have succeeded against Indian Wolves in the past.
Yeah, I do believe that has happened in the past. Will it happen here, though? That's the interesting bit, because obviously, if you take a look at some of the points right there, I think still by Indian Wolves, the fact that they have secured themselves the top 4 finish at the very least, I don't think their spot is going to change by this point. I don't think it is going to be changed. And in fact, we do have in some news flash here, folks. It looks like Prestigious are in fact leading 1-0 in the best of 3.
All right, so hopefully we can jump into that soon enough here. One more interesting statistic I wanted to point out, just because we just watched a Saviours match. The top 5 players who have been the most successful in using their grenade out of the top 5, 3 players are from Saviours.
Really?
3 players in the top 5 most successful grenade users in the summer split are from Saviours. That tells you something. Like, I mean, the guys obviously like their grenades, but just the fact alone that a team is concentrated around that specific mechanic does give you a certain idea how they could potentially play in a few maps. Yet again, the first thing coming to my mind would be Atrium having the bridge just above the B capture point. They could just easily clear it out that way, then, if that's the approach they like to go for.
Primarily, we have been seeing, grenade usage from, like, solo plays. Like, you're in a 1 versus 1, you know that you're dying in that position, so you're just going to chuck in the lucky grenade, go for martyrdom, and hoping to secure yourself the elimination that way. But we haven't really seen a lot of affairs when you'd have, like, say, a couple player, maybe 3 players going in, sticking together. They know there's a player on, say, one of the control points, and then you just chuck in 3 grenades. That should take him down instantly. That sort of utility level usage it would be very nice to see. For now, we do see individuals popping in the grenade from time to time. There's Lucky Kobe here and there. But of course, now it is, of course, our quarterfinals.
Yes.
Subway Station, King of the Hill, our second map of the best of 3.
Let's see if Prestigious can make it to face Indian Wolves, or will this be their downfall? You can see the first shots yet again are going to be made when Dracaris are going to be the ones making that capture there towards the A point. Very instantly from behind, Mighty together with PD coming in. PD gets a double elimination there as well. Perfect aim on top. And you can see that Prestigious instantly regaining control of the capture point right now, trying to hold on. Mighty, very good firepower coming out from him, and Gunshot here in a lot of danger will come out on top by eliminating Chattery here. And Dragoon coming in with the G launcher even. This is a bloodbath coming out from Dracaris here, and they looks like are going to be able to recapture the point here, putting Prestigious in a bit of a predicament.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my God,
Chandra
Captree.
is in a predicament though. Prestigious looking like they can bounce back, but of course Dragoon still holding things down. Their control point. He's gonna go for the aggressive plays here. He should be going down. There we go. The Blade Master does connect, and by this point, if you're Prestigious, yes, you've lost control point beforehand, but if you will have players not only the control point but watching the sides, they can still hold this one down. Of course, the respawn is here from both squads. Dracarys trying to fight over this control point, not looking too great. PD should be going down, and there we go. Dracarys are now holding themselves the control point, but there is a players coming in there. That's going to be Mighty. That's going to be also Gunshot from the trains. Picking up one more? No, that's not the case. Mighty trying to battle it out here. It's ring around the rose in the control point. He wants to stay there for as long as possible.
PD able to come in and at the nick of time recapture the point in favor of Prestigious here. Now Cool Buddy, he has free shots on his opponents. He's going to be able to try and eliminate them, and it does so exactly. The perfect aim comes through for Hulk Smash, but it doesn't matter. Prestigious are in the lead with 120 points and having one map up. Dracarys absolutely need to nail this one, but it simply does not go their way as Mighty finds those eliminations, even pushes forward to waste more time of Dracarys, not allowing them to recapture this point.
Gunshot's gonna go for it. He's gonna try to find that elimination, but of course, Gunshot, he is going down. Now Cool Buddy alongside Mighty trying to hold things down. They need to find the eliminations. They're getting it done. This is a deadly duo here on the control point. Even pulls out the sniper rifle, but Ace spinning around madly getting the eliminations, and that is a perfect G launch right now. Prestigious, they're on the brink of securing themselves the victory here, but even so, holding the control point may not be the main goal. If they're just gonna find the eliminations, that could be good enough.
That is not going to be good enough for Dracarys here, and it looks like Prestigious are going to run away with a victory. A few more points, 2 minutes on the clock, and absolutely nothing that Dracarys can do about this, except but watch how Prestigious run away with a 2-0 victory here, meaning they are going to be facing Indian Wolves in the semis for the chance to fight in the grand finals in this last week of the summer split.
Yeah, and obviously by this point, Prestigious, congrats, they made it to top 4. We haven't seen them in a while, so it's nice to see, have a bit of a change. We have seen Indian Wolves, we have seen a lot of Cyclone GG, a lot of Unkilled as well. Then we have been able to see, Saviours pop in from time to time, and now we have Prestigious. Of course, guys, now let's take a look at the full brackets, how things are looking here for the top 4. Of course, not that long ago, we did witness a victory there for Cyclone GG. It was 2-0. It wasn't not the most cleanest of Guns of Boom, but a victory nonetheless. And here in the other part of the semifinals, Prestigious against Indian Wolves, a matchup we haven't seen in some time. We have been deprived of this rivalry, and we'll see who's going to come out on top.
Well, my guys, that is the Indian Wolves that I usually root for. I really hope they have another chance of going up against Cyclone GG, but as you already pointed out, first they need to deal with the likes of Prestigious, and I must say, seeing them how they dealt with Dracarys on Subway Station, I mean, they really didn't give up that capture point that many times, and I need to point out that Mighty definitely was a savior for that capture point a few of those moments, especially because he was continuously getting double eliminations there as well, and also PD coming in from the sides, constantly putting down firepower, not allowing for the Dracarys players to come in unscathed onto the capture point, obviously was a huge plus side that Prestigious had there. So hopefully they're going to be able to draw out the same cards against Indian Wolves here. Obviously the first map is going to be Old Factory, a team deathmatch map, and meaning that, well, it is even grounds in general, and I think for Prestigious, they shouldn't be too worried. I think that they also see Indian Wolves sort of on the same level. At least from my perspective, they would look at them that way. Because there's really no reason to put your opponent more above you than they could potentially be.
Yeah, I think there was, a pretty big skill difference in the past. Like, you'd see Indian Wolves sometimes getting the upset, and Cyclone GG were just able to dominate everyone. Now the gap has gotten a bit closer with the pickup of Skilled. Indian Wolves and Cyclone GG, yeah, they have the tight game here or there, and then below them, you also have Unkilled. So definitely throughout the seasons, there has been now, say, a diminished gap of skills. Now there's a chance in which the top 3, they can battle each other. There's a possibility of upset victories to happen. So here you also have another team outside the top 5, even, of course, Prestigious. And in this case, is there a possibility of the upset? I'd say there is.
Well, Yes, but I really hope for that Indian Wolves Cyclone GG final, so I'm just going to root for Indian Wolves this time. And
But
make sure you support me in the chat, and obviously, as well as always, as you already know from the beginning of this stream, that the players are there as well, looking to see who is cheering them up. Hopefully, it's only nice words going their direction. There's really no need to put anyone down. Huh?
but Beneficus, you support the underdog.
No, not this time. No.
Not this time.
I
This time
support
around, it's
the
Indian
underdog
Wolves.
in the grand finals.
Okay. I mean, I can't really say they're much of an underdog. There's still, that sort of
As
aura
I already
around
told
them.
you, right? Prestigious, I don't
Right.
really think that they see themselves below Indian Wolves, hence there is no underdog here. I got myself out of the situation. I'm clean.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. You can think whatever you want. I still think Prestigious is going to be thinking, right, this is definitely going to be somewhat of a more difficult matchup. But what do you guys think? Of course, we will have ourselves a second semifinal going on here. It is going to be Prestigious. It's going to be Indian Wolves. But what do you think, guys? Who is going to win? Is it going to be Prestigious? Is it going to be Indian Wolves? Let us know in the chat because I still think, yeah, Indian Wolves are looking good to secure the victory. But there's the caveat. Last week of the season, and with that caveat, I still think an upset can happen.
Well, I actually think it's going to be the first map is probably going to start off same as Cyclone GG started against Saviours. I think there's going to be there's going to be a lot of dancing, a lot of emoticons, and just in general, people are just having good fun by this time. Because obviously, even if Prestigious managed to secure the victory here, they can't really change much in the standings for Indian Wolves as well, because they are in the second position with 350 points. So like the only thing they could change is to push Indian Wolves down to that third, fourth position, and if they stay there points-wise, it doesn't change anything for them in the standings. They're still going to be in that second spot.
Yeah, a loss,
especially off the fact that Unkilled are not even in the semis, meaning that Unkilled, they don't even get that many points, and there's no way that the standings can change right now. So it should be just good funds. And as I already talked about before as well, I really hope just to see new things coming out from these teams, because this is then the moment where you can sort of experiment with stuff all around.
Yeah, because by this point, a loss, a victory, it's not going to matter too much in the whole big scheme of things. So this is the opportunity. This is, a team's possibility to test out new things, which they might have not done in the past. Because obviously, top four, crucial moment for you to secure the victory in a best of three, then try to secure that W on the grand final stage. And you don't want to experiment there. You want to try out the things that have been tested true through the valiance of time.
Here's an interesting thought. Like, if, say, a team the likes of Prestigious are going up against now Indian Wolves or potentially anyone else from the top four, you can't really judge your game objectively then in that sense as well, because you never know if your opponent is playing full force.
Yeah.
Right? So it can actually be tricky against you. Therefore, it even more so reinforces the idea that this is the time to experiment, because you won't be able to make any real conclusions after this match anyway. Well, in real in the sense that objective.
Right?
I
see what you mean.
Okay, well, hopefully you see what I mean as well. In the meantime, we are waiting for the players to jump into the game. If anyone is from the players is remaining still in the chat, please don't. We really absolutely want to see the game start as soon as possible here, just to get a bit more action in, because obviously there's a lot of theory crafting involved in esports just in general, and about Guns of Boom as well. Looking towards the future, I have a few ideas in my mind as to how the game might evolve and how the game style might evolve as well. But this does bring me questions like, imagine if there would be split changes in the maps. I'm not saying there will be, but imagine every single split there will be small adjustments to the map that would allow for, say, Old Factory still to be Old Factory, but there's like a new pathway or something else different that absolutely changes the style of the game for the players.
Yeah, that's one of the ways you can see some of those changes, but I think you could also see there's always going to be some new maps being developed as well. That's also one of the ways a team must be not only be good on, say, 5 of the maps, but they're going to have to be good on, say, even 7 of the maps.
Well,
right?
especially having like a best of 9 grand finals, right? So that's still completely crazy for me in the sense that as a player to have a potentially best of 9 grand final in a huge event, that's a lot a lot of learning on your shoulders, at least to know that you have to be then in that sense super confident in at least 5 of those maps.
Yeah, because if that's the one where you're going to be securing the victory, if you're going to be able to get themselves the 5 wins, that's how you get it done. And obviously, have a great map pool. It's important, in those sort of stages. And of course, it looks like yes, looks like we are going to be able to jump into Old Factory, folks. Enough nagging, let's get it done. Let's see some guns to boom action here. Of course, this being Old Factory, this being Indian Wolves against your opponents, Prestigious, I think there's still going to be a scenario in which, Prestigious, they're going to win one map. And I think it might happen on this map in particular. Of course, folks, Old Factory, if you don't know beforehand, it is obviously the Team Deathmatch game mode.
All right, second pair of the semis can finally begin here to see who's going to advance forward to the grand finals, who's going to stay in that third, fourth position, and Moriarty opening things up in favor of Indian Wolves. Ravi Reddy is going to be able to follow up an elimination onto PD there. Now only Cool Bunny finds a double elimination in a situation where I thought he's going to fall. Excellent job from him keeping the scoreline close, and Hope here with the grenade forward, but able to avoid that quickly. In the meantime now, together with Indian Wolves are going to be pushing as Cool Buddy and Chattery both are going to fall. PD able to find a double elimination in a dire situation there, and might even gets a Blade Master on top.
Yeah, the Blade Master coming in as well, and Indian Wolves, yet they've got the lead, but I don't think they're going to be playing this one safe. Oh, no. They want to find those eliminations. They want to get up close and personal. There's Ravi coming in with a bit of a flank here. No one seems to be aware of his position, or are they, though? Yes, they are, but it's not going to matter. There is going to be Chattery, PD, both the players picking up the eliminations. But here, Indian Wolves, yeah, they've kind of lost their lead, but it's still looking pretty good for them.
Well, 3 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock here. Hope with the G launcher doesn't really connect, but it was very close. In the meantime, Ravi and Moriarty were able to find eliminations here. Ravi even finds another one, able to fall back here. 30-point lead for Indian Wolves, and with 3.5 minutes still remaining, Ghost needs to be careful. They're deep behind enemy lines, and of course, Chattery, with the help of his teammates, is going to be able to find that elimination. So still, Prestigious keeping close to Indian Wolves, and Indian Wolves as well don't really look that confident. And with the fall of Ravi Reddy here, Moriarty needs to be careful. He's going to be sandwiched in here. With the desperate G-Launcher comes out and even eliminates himself.
That's one way to go about it. Obviously, Indian Wolves, they have themselves a bit of a lead here, but Prestigious, yes, they have respawned. Look at that HP bar. It is full. At this point, Indian Wolves, I think they're just going to try to group up and try to go for this one. But as we do see, this is an interesting situation right now. Indian Wolves, they have decided to play this one quite safe, but No Mighty is able to take down Hope. There's eliminations going on there on this side of the map, and there we go. Prestigious, they had a bit of a lead, but now it is gone. That Blade Master puts a spanner in the works here, and looks like, Chattery PD, both the players want to find some of those eliminations here. The double Barracuda setup could work out if they can get it done, but no. The Moriarty's Incinerator is way too strong, and now Ghost. Oh, this is such a good position now. He's got to wait for the timing when the players don't anticipate it, and then he can pounce, then he can get something done. Or no, Mighty's Blade Master connects. Hope's going to go for more, but Mighty with the triple elimination. That is such good points being picked up, but Hope, he's not slowing down, and yes, Hope has hit the floor, and there's only 2 measly points separating the squads.
2 minutes on the clock and the same scoreline for both of these teams. They're really going at it, Danny, right now, as Ravi Reddy is going to be moving forward here. Spotted his opponent jumping down onto Mighty. Blade Masters connects, and Mighty comes out on top of that with the help of Cool Buddy there as well, able to get a follow-up elimination. Now Indian Wolves able to trade back instantly. It's going to neck in neck. Minute and 45 seconds on the clock, and only 2 points between these two for the place in the last grand finals of this summer split. I mean, these teams really want to get there, and look at this. They have positioned themselves excellently, and now Indian Wolves find those openings looking for a clean swipe, but Prestigious instantly able to reply with a double elimination of their own.
Oh, Mighty
even the triple now.
Yeah, PD at the triple elimination. This is so good right now for Prestigious, leading by 60 points. They don't even have to go for any of these gunfights, but they will. Chattery takes down Ravi Reddy, Moriarty and Co. Trying to stick this one together, gonna make the push here. Oh no, he does not check his corners, and he's gonna be going down. PD gets it done, and there we go. Prestigious with the first map victory. Is this an upset, though? We're, of course, going to have a discussion about that, but, of course, top players, as we do see PD 194 score. That is beautiful here in TDM.
Yeah, PD, I mean, he really stood out there, especially towards the later stages of the match. Really picked his timings in terms of engagements and just made sure that he wouldn't fall, or if he is put in that position, he's going to be able to put out the maximum amount of damage that he could possibly do in those situations, just to make sure that it's going to be easy to follow up with their teammates. So let's have a look at the MVPs of the first map here on Old Factory and see which of these players we really need to commend. So from Prestigious, you can see that is PD, if I'm not mistaken, with 194 points, 10 eliminations, 7 assists, and 8 deaths.
Of course, for Indian Wolves, did you have Ravi Reddy, 124 score, 9 eliminations, 6 assists. I mean, this is not a bad performance from Ravi Reddy, if I'm being honest. 9 eliminations, pretty good stuff. But obviously, his team did take the L, even though they were leading for what I'd like to say the majority of the first map. They still weren't able to close it out.
Right, so for Indian Wolves, a lot of it is going to ride on Farming Complex, and for Indian Wolves, like control point-based maps have been a bit of a roller coaster in the past, if I remember correctly. I mean, they've had great success, they've had terrible losses, and just in general, I do slightly, well, I'm afraid for Indian Wolves right now, because if they don't make it into the grand finals, that's not really a note that I would like to finish off a season, a split, being in a position where I am basically second, well, if I were to be Indian Wolves.
Oh, maybe you will one day.
Maybe I will one day.
Maybe you will climb up the ladder there, up the leagues, getting yourselves that very fine finish, and maybe one day you're going to see folks of Beneficus there in the Hall of Fame. That'd be awesome.
Well, we still have that ongoing bet we need to discuss. But before that, still, this best of 3 is not finished off, so Indian Wolves will have another chance to tackle Prestigious in the second map here, and hopefully it is going to roll out in all 3 maps, because generally speaking, a lot of the times we see 2-0s, 3-0s in those best of 5s, and it's, whilst it is a very quick match, it doesn't really put up, leave a lot for imagination in terms of how things could roll out here. So hopefully Indian Wolves can have a bit of a chat between themselves, just talk things over, realize what went wrong there. I think the fact that around the 3-minute mark, Indian Wolves sort of overstepped their boundaries. Like, they had good setups and that what seemed to be good engagements, they just simply didn't really fell their way, right? Because you really feel like it all is falling into place, and then suddenly all of your team just gets eliminated because nobody really landed their shot in that particular way, what it was required in that situation. That's just slightly unfortunate.
I mean, there were definitely some good situations in which they were able to find the opening games, the eliminations there. They were able to find a lot of good work there on the map. We even saw some great positioning there. At one point, we obviously saw, Ghost there being on the mid part of the map on that elevated surface. I thought, wow, he's in a great position to do so much good work there. He jumps down and looks like the best possible time, and he still gets taken out of the picture. He sees, oh, who's this guy? Blade Master. Boom.
He just literally jumped into the Blade of Mighty there, so that's just super unfortunate, I must say. And as well, the fact that whilst the timing was there, somehow I really don't think he noticed the second player, so he actually jumped down between the two of them, which was even worse. So let's see how Indian Wolves will reply on Farming Complex, or will it be Prestigious running in straight into the grand finals of this last summer split, making a good statement for themselves for the next one. Let's see, and let's get it on.
Obviously, Farming Complex here, control points. We have seen upsets in the past. We'll see if this shall continue. Of course, in the previous matchup, we did see some mid-presence coming in very early on there from both squads, and that's not the case. Everyone's leaving the lobby. It looks like Indian Wolves.
Ravi just dancing with a haystack there.
Yeah.
All right, so we do have a bit of a reset. The players are going to be just joining the server one more time to kick things off here as well. And again, for Indian Wolves, I mean, they seem to be pretty eager to jump into the match, and with dances being displayed, I would still say they're in good spirits in terms of approaching Prestigious on this map.
Yeah, because even though Farming Complex, you can kind of call it somewhat of a more an upset type map we have seen in the past. I wonder if Alexa Precision can pull it off, though, because Indian Wolves...
Looking how they finished things off in Old Factory, I really cannot disregard that option, but I would like to think that Indian Wolves are better organized. Just like, well, there's a reason they're in the second place, right? And that stability should transition through also this best of three. And well, it's a situation where you've been put in as a team where there's a point to be proven here for Indian Wolves. And I think that like the best way how to do it, especially the likes of Prestigious, would be exactly control over those control points rather than just going for the elimination. So like not really overstepping those boundaries of the capture point. There's no need to overextend.
You know what, Beneficus? I actually want to see what we have seen in the past. You know what I want to see? I want to see some replays. Let's take a look here, wind down the clock, what has happened in the past, and obviously take a look at what's going on here. Obviously, I think, wasn't this a quarterfinal matchup, I'd like to say?
This was, yes.
Yeah, this was the quarterfinal matchup against the team Bassy Bastards, I think it was called?
Crazy Bastards.
Crazy Bastards. Yeah. There we go. Base, obviously.
Bastards. Bastards.
Bastards. Oh, so they're good at the
bass.
bass.
There was like a 3. I don't know. They're just bass heads. Basically.
Yeah, they're good at the bass, air guitars.
Okay, well, you can see White Devil here holding his own on that A capture point, and there was Blaze just coming out with the Blade Master. Very good job done here, of course, from Cyclone on this control point-based map, and Exhorter as well doing an excellent job of staying alive so long. Great use of the truck there, just dashing in, dashing out behind it, making sure that the opponent is missing his bullets and just capitalizing on that reload. And here as well on Subway Station, I mean, PD just dominated this one together with Mighty.
Yeah, now we actually do get to see, at one point, yeah, the team was definitely winning this one. Prestigious were looking like on the brink of victory, but obviously there was an opportunity in which their opponents, their carries, have began to bounce back, and they did change up the pace there. Obviously, PD was able to get a lot more work being done there, coming in with some more flanks. He did have his teammates backing him up, or just at some moments, just teammate. Now, at that point, obviously, with that victory there for Prestigious, it wasn't too bad. And obviously here, Indian Wolves, I wouldn't say they got outclassed here. Like, even here, you can take a look. It was kind of neck and neck. This is the play from Ghost.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought so much damage should be dealt, but no, Might is out here, you know, snapping up people. And obviously, with this victory here, it was still close. It was not the most convincing of victories, if I'm being honest. And with that being said, this is still a best of 3. There's still a chance for a team like Indian Wolves to very easily bounce back, get themselves the 2 maps, and head on over to the Grand Finals.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to get to have a look at Military Warehouse as well. But before that, as we spoke before, Farming Complex. So hopefully Prestigious have rejoined the server here, because Indian Wolves are eager to get this one on. And hopefully that you people in the chat have already posted the name of your favorite team, or the one at least you think is going to prevail victorious here and is going to move in the Grand Finals. And I must say that Grand Finals during a last week always feels like an end of a huge journey, right? During the weeks that we've gone through, especially around week 3, week 4, I really felt like time was flying super fast, but now time has slowed down here, and as everything is approaching an end, it would be nice to see that teams finally gather the final forces they have within themselves to really put up a great show.
Yeah, great show is what we were looking for. We obviously saw some great dance moves beforehand, but we also want to see some, some more eliminations as well. But for now, folks, of course, we'll be right back with a very quick break. And of course, we will see some great Guns of Boom action. But for now, a quick break, 5-minute pause, and we'll be right back. Hello everyone, welcome back to the broadcast. Of course, we did have ourselves a brief technical issue and we will get with the game as soon as possible. But for now, folks, let's actually take a look at the brackets, what's been going on here, because we have seen some guns of boom action. We did see some matches there in the semifinals. We also even got a sneak peek at what's going on in some of the earlier stages of the tournament, but even taking a look at a top 16 and even a quarterfinal game at top 8. But for now, of course, our very first semifinal, it did go in favor of Cyclone GG. 2-0 was the victory here, and of course in our second semifinal it was Prestigious, who are still actually playing against Indian Wolves. Prestigious were able to pick up the first map, Old Factory, but due to some technical issues, we are going to be heading over to the second map as quickly as possible, but for now we only can discuss of what might happen in the future.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, during this split, as we already talked, a lot of things have been already set in stone for Prestigious, though. Looking at how they have been performing today, I would presume that during the next split, especially them knocking out Unkilled from today's brackets in the round of 16, I think. Oh, no, that was the quarterfinals already.
Yeah, quarterfinals.
They managed to secure the victory there. So obviously, I think looking at the next split, there is going to be some changes in the standings. At least that's sort of my prediction, because I mean, in theory, how long really can one team dominate one region?
Yeah, that's just how it is here in esports. I mean, you always think about, say, the Koreans in StarCraft. They have been toppled. So have been, some other teams in some other esports. You name it, like a Global Offensive and whatnot. You look at, there's a domination. There's someone up top there. You're looking to take that spot, and they always get toppled. Yeah,
but then again, speaking about Guns of Boom, you have the likes of Noble that are just probably absolutely unstoppable right now, right? And for Lazarus as well, being on the back foot for so many events, just running behind them must feel upsetting for him. And that's as well, like, that's something that when you mention the esports in general, you do see long runs from certain teams, but afterwards, there's just a team that suddenly finds its click and finds the pace really that benefits their game style and really allows these teams to shine. And again, there's so many things that can be taken into account here. One would be, of course, the strategies that we've talked about as well, but just a different setup of weaponry for a team can a lot of the times completely change things around. So imagine if a guy was completely, a player was constantly, say, a rifler and just mainly using assault rifles together with shotguns, suddenly put in a position, you don't know if he's perhaps a great sniper as well, and that can completely change how the games could played out here. And I think that's also an option that some of these teams, especially the ones that are perhaps struggling to make it through into the semis consistently, should look into as a way of mixing things up and surprising their opponents in the future. Of course, you do run a risk of even performing even worse than that, but I still think that is a viable option that some of these teams should be looking into.
And to go back on your saying about, top teams, right? Obviously, if you have a top team, what really defines one, I think, are two most important pieces. You have the individual skill, and you've got the game plan. Say you're at the very top of your game, you will obviously have the individual skill and the game plan. Say because you're so much in the top, the thing is, you're probably not going to be focusing too much on the game plan. See the tactics. You're thinking, right, we're at the top, we've done it, we've achieved the victory here, so we just can continue doing the same thing we've done in the past. But no, that's not the case. You must innovate. That's the thing. If you want to continue being at the #1 spot, you need to innovate. And of course, with that comes laziness. You're going to stop innovating, but you still have that other piece of the puzzle. That is obviously individual skill. Sometimes, not always, the individual skill will allow you to secure some of those victories just because you're so good at the mechanics of a game. But if the individual skill drops off as well, that is when a team begins to tumble down. No longer do they have the game plan. No longer do they have the mechanical skill. They're just left to be as, other teams out there in the area or the region.
I think one thing for these top teams that are continuously, say, in the top 3 positions, during their split, seeing how their points are going, and if you already see, like, say, the likes of Cyclone GG being established in that first position, we talked about this in the beginning of the stream as well, that this is the time when you can potentially take out a wild card and just start experimenting with stuff as long as your position is secure, because you really can start using these matches as practice for the bigger events, right? The things that these teams are battling the points for here, for those positions to have that slot in the next big event. And in that next big event, it is going to be absolutely crucial as to what you have picked up so far. And if you are already continuously dominating your region, there's no point of trying to crack it even more if you are consistently being in that position, meaning you need to start thinking about the game in a bigger picture. So that's like a hard transition for a team to make. A lot of the times it involves a lot of unexpected losses, and then it's just down to the mentality of the players. How do you actually approach a loss, right? Because like sitting down and just thinking, okay, well, we lost, we just simply didn't do well today. That's not necessarily always the case. It might just be a strategy that's not polished off enough, but that strategy could be the thing that is going to give you the victory in the next big event, right? So, like, in that way, I think that experimentation is very important here, and it is an aspect that we've briefly touched at the beginning of this stream, and it's well, we don't really see it happen so far.
And what about, like, we talk about the lesser teams? Why not? Let's talk about them. We've been talking about the very top, the top echelon here of our region, and obviously some teams on the other regions as well. Obviously, if you're going to be starting out Guns and Boom, when would you would say is like the best sort of moment would be to do so? Because obviously, would it be like at the very start of the, say, next upcoming season? That's where you want to go in there, guns blazing, or you still want to like hop on into this season when it's coming to a close and get some experience as well?
Yeah, well, speaking about experience, if you have a lot of it in the chat, do ask us question or let us know any sort of tips that you have about the game, because it does look like that we are going to wait for another 5 to 10 minutes and maybe even the whole 15. Not really sure what's happening there right now behind the scenes, just trying to get the issues resolved and the players in the server, so we still have time for a bit of a discussion here, and I would be very interested to hear from some of the more experienced players, and just, yeah, like, let us know what is happening in your side of the ocean or the world, and how you see the game, and we'll make sure that the production passes on the information to us here. I really don't have my phone with me right now, otherwise I would have a little look in the chat myself as well. So, yeah, like, coming back to the subject of experimentation and just like innovation, as you already pointed out, like, I think one of the things that we can definitely talk about is that whilst on control point based maps you can definitely see that a lot of it is based on how the rotations are being played, you don't really see like a super aggressive game style. So for example, what I mean by that is saying, oh, I do have a phone in the studio here, so we do have a chat.
Thank you, Mr. Gremlin.
So we're going to have a look at the chat in a moment there as well. But coming back to the subject, right? So, like, say farming complex, you have the 3 control points and you have the B capture point in the middle there. You have pathways all around. That is super great. One thing that we haven't seen from a team, at least not to my memory, if I recall correctly, put all 4 players at the very beginning in towards the B capture point, and instead of just going for the actual capture, push through and go for flanks.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely one way to go about it. But what we have seen as well is obviously, you know, out there in the B control point, primarily just being 4 versus 4. Who wins some of those engagements, then can continue on to spread across the map, trying to capture, you know, the A, B, and C control point.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if we do have any messages from our viewers here. Just a bit of a discussion happening between what amount of skill is required in Guns of Boom.
This is so streamception. You're looking at a stream on a stream. How'd you like that one, folks? That's some high quality stuff. Have you seen that before? No, you have not. This is why we're innovative. That's why we're doing this thing right here.
Okay. Right, so still discussion ongoing here. In the meantime, I see people discussing devices as well. That's also an interesting topic, right? I've heard a lot of people really enjoy playing on certain models of iPhones because you have the 3D touch feature,
3D touch feature.
and that allows you to, well, in an ergonomical sense, at least, I really haven't tried to measure the time, but at least to scoping in. And if you are playing with sniper rifles, that really helps you out, because instead of you lifting up the finger and then afterwards pressing on the scope button, you just press downwards on the screen and it instantly scopes in. So playing with snipers, I really feel like that's beneficial. I also tried playing with, I personally don't have an iPhone, but I play with one here behind the scenes as well, and I must say it's a slightly different experience that you have rather than playing on a regular device.
Yeah, because obviously the 3D touch, it allows it to, be precise. Just have to put your fingers basically on the screen. You don't have to pop off or anything, which is a very nice feature here with the iPhones. And obviously, not only that, if we're talking about features, you also want to have a good phone as possible, because obviously there's always that possibility, because you're going to be getting, it's no secret, better phones do give you some of that extra frame rates, which in a first-person shooters, they matter quite a bit.
It does. Well, playing on 60 FPS enabled in the settings, of course, does swallow your battery life a bit more, but that's just how phones are made. You can't really do much about it, so probably like making sure that you have a good connection and stable battery life is key here. But yeah, touching the subject of iPhones, I think it is an unexplored territory in that sense. And question is, I really haven't looked into, I don't really know if we have any information about what sort of devices the players are using here as well, but it would be interesting to find out, perhaps from the players themselves or just people in the chat. Let us know what device are you playing on, so we can at least judge what sort of the bigger amount of devices we have gathered here. I would presume probably a lot is going to be running on Android, meaning that the 3D touch thing is out of the question for them.
But I think there maybe is one with the new Androids. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not that very good at tech when you think about it, at least on mobile tech. But obviously, there are phones. It's no secret. There are phones out there like, I do believe it's the Razer phone that actually gives it like 144 hertz refresh rate on a mobile phone. That is insane. That
would be very interesting, actually, to play with.
Like, it's so smooth. Like, it has to be like buttery smooth.
It has to be. So I remember the change that the experience I had just in general, just switching to a different monitor on my PC. So especially on a mobile device, it would be a huge difference, considering that is, to my knowledge, the only brand that provides such sort of screens. I see a lot of greetings towards the pro players in the chat, and yeah. Like, yes, Akash, I need to agree with you. There is something wrong. There is no match on our screen, so we are still waiting for the teams to ready up here.
Something wrong.
And that's exactly why we have still time to discuss a few of these moments. As well, like, I've heard a lot of people talking about playing in public games, that there's players that have some sort of unfair advantage, or at least the players are speculating about that, but I really haven't seen that. I think it's just more of an issue of players being able to deal with a loss instead of actually someone using something in order to boost their performance in the game. At least I haven't come across such players where I would go instantly like, okay, that person is not playing fair.
Like, obviously at the very start for me it was quite difficult to get used to, obviously, the touchscreen controls. And then when you have to play it, you see someone that also is just named like player6201, and he's just able to like dominate me because he just got so used to playing the game that I'm starting out and I'm getting pummeled by all these folks. They're playing so good, and I just have to, one things to go about it is obviously learn from my mistakes, get some of those better weapons, get better with first of all, with the simple legend, and you're able to climb up the ranks. It's not an easy task, but it's definitely possible.
Okay, well, it looks like that we are still going to move into a pause here. Really need to apologize because we do have other teams that we need to look afterwards, other regions that is as well, so we really can't spend that much time on theory crafting here. We're going to take a pause, and when we come back, we are going to jump into the next semi-final match to get this thing really going.
Hello everyone, welcome back for another time here. Of course, we did have a very quick break, but obviously, there are some tech issues going, but don't worry, they're getting fixed here as soon as possible, and then we can finally continue on with the matchups here because there's still a lot of Guns of Boom action here, and of course, Beneficus, I see what you're doing.
I'm just opening up the chat to see if anyone is joining us to say hello. People are asking about any sort of update on the situation. We are still waiting for a few replies from the admin team just to really understand what went wrong here. So yeah, that's the reason why the delay is happening right now, just to waiting for some replies. In the meantime, though, we were talking about the potential of us having a one-on-one battle in Guns of Boom, and I'm thinking about this wager that we were having before there as to who can climb the highest. I think we could by then organize a very interesting battle between ourselves, so would be curious to see who can be the best, and we would need to decide on the maps as well which ones we would play. I would definitely like to play the subway station map. I think it's a good one-on-one map.
Is it your favorite map? Because it's
not. It's
for a little bit.
No, that's the thing. It's not my favorite map, but I think for a one-on-one engagement, it's pretty forgiving, right? You have equal grounds in that sense. You have a King of the Hill scenario, control point. You can't really leave the control point. You have to engage. You have the opportunity of hiding, flanking, and so on. And in a 1v1, I think that map would be pretty fine. Like, there's no point of us playing like a 1-against-1 atrium.
Yeah. One thing I'd like to say is probably one of the maps I'd like to play would be Old Factory. Team deathmatch, keeping things simple. Mono-a-mono engagement, 1 versus 1. You're opening up the game, aren't you?
I'm opening up the game, yeah. I'm going to see if I can perhaps... If we can jump into a match where at least someone from us and see how we handle ourselves here.
Well, for me, the problem is that my level is a bit too high for both of us to play, so that's a bit dissatisfying.
That is absolutely not true. Let's see. Oh yeah, Danny, you can actually play and I can cast, or vice versa.
Sure. Okay. Okay, you go first, and then we'll see how it goes. Right.
Okay.
Okay, who you're playing up against?
I need to add the studio here just in case the players can actually see. Let's see if I can do that there.
This should be quite some great gameplay. Of course, I have seen you being somewhat dissatisfied.
Yeah, okay. Right, I do need to accept a few people here before we can actually set it up. I'm still on my way here. So you actually want to see me lose first?
Well, that'd be nice to see. But obviously, in this case, I have seen you play Guns of Boom. You were very, very full focused, in the game, just looking for the victory. Obviously, you did get some. There were some shouty bits, there were some screamy bits, but there were also like woo bits.
Okay, so need a few words from my production team. Do I need to add anyone else here, or can I go live? I can join a battle. Let's see.
This is exciting. You're going to be on the big screen right now.
And it's going to be still searching for a match or battle. So let's find out which map I'm going to be playing. It looks like
Military Warehouse.
It's going to be Military Warehouse on our screens here. Let's see.
You even have the transition. Look at this.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's see how we go. Let's see what sort of teammates I have. I will remind you one more time, this is myself on the screens here, so make sure that you flame plentifully because I have thick skin. Let's see how we do this.
Right, let's get it on. Of course, we're looking at Ven. Can we get a bit of a closer up here to how he's able to move here? Of course, he's moving in here towards that mid portion of the map. He does have his teammate backing him up. They're going for the elimination. He does have Prosy to get the first one, but Ven out of armor already. He should be going down. There we go. Easiest elimination there for MDLP in his life. And of course, this could still be somewhat of a close game, but obviously 44 is the scoreline here. Of course, Ven. Ficus. There you go. Has respawned. He has got the armor to work with, but from what I can tell, he doesn't even have any grenades or health alongside him. What are you doing?
Nobody needs that. Nobody needs that.
You need that stuff. It's important. Oh, are you going to go for the...
I'm going for the aggression.
He's going in for the aggression. Oh, no. Oh, no, Beneficus. You're being shut down. Players left, right, and center. You can't get anything done. Yeah, the shotguns are... Good.
It was a pincer shotgun movement from the opponent happening, so it was a bit of a difficult situation there to survive. My teammates are falling here. Let's see if I can get a few of those perfect aims. I do that. Oh, there's a player there.
Oh, Ventrificus, come on, you gotta win this one. Win it against Igor. Can you get it done? Oh, you pulled that. Was it the Trickster, isn't it?
Might be. I actually don't remember which shotgun I have. It's okay. The Undertaker really took care of me there. Stained glass cosmetics as well. It seems that my team really wants to take this one individually, and I must admit that I have fallen into that as well. Seems that there's going to be a grenade on the ground. Let's see if we can get rid of that player. We can. There is another opponent. The Blade Master comes out on top as well. Good job from me. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, peek me.
Come on, peek me. I'm ready to go for those eliminations
All
here.
right, we're going in.
Oh, no. Ventrificus, big mistake. There's 2 players right in front of me.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, nice. You find the first one. I thought you're going to be instantly a goner, so at least you're able to find one. Your team is in the lead, though, which is actually formidable. In fact, you're the best scorer for the team. You're sitting at a comfortable 70 score.
We're looking to get a few more of these now. I'm going to rotate quickly to the other side because I feel that my teammate might fall here. Oh, and there is a surprise attack coming out through. Excellent
nice,
job from me as I'm moving forward here. Don't see anyone here. Shots exchange. Anyone on my right-hand side? Nope, but close
There's
left.
one. There's one. Oh, that's nice. Oh, actually, that was your teammate to get that elimination. But still, like, you're fragging out of your mind here, Ventrificus. That's crazy. You're so good. You're such a gamer.
Well, 2 minutes on the clock. We are still waiting for the matches here. So in the meantime, we're looking to see if I can nail this. Thank you. That was a difficult one.
Not bad, not bad.
Oh, that's not the weapon I want to have for that range. The grenade, it dealt so much damage, and MDLP is on a elimination streak. I really don't like to see that.
Yeah, MDLP has won like 3 or so engagements against you. You got to step up your game. Even though you seem to be pretty good in the fragging department here with the figures, some of your opponents are just that bit better. For now, I guess the good thing is that you actually are winning the game, so that's pretty nice. In fact, you might even come down to be as the MVP of your squad, which would be pretty cool. But no,
the Punisher.
This is not a good situation here. Oh, there you go. That's going to be the machine gun coming in through. I think that's... Actually, no, I can't really recall its name. But anyhow, this is an interesting situation here. Igor getting one with the Legend. Ooh, I haven't seen that gun in a while.
Legend. Well, let's see if I can flank them. Nobody here. Nobody here, but from my right-hand side, I really need to fall back here. And I'm scoping in by mistake because I have huge hands.
You do have some big hands. I'm not going to lie.
It's really messing me up. Oh, my God. I think we actually might lose here.
Oh, come on. Not like this.
Nope, nope. If I get 3 eliminations like that, it should be no problem. The teammate takes care of that one, so we'll be able to move on here. I hope, really hope, that I will...
Oops.
Remember, you're up next, Danny, so... That shotgun, really, I haven't upgraded it, so it doesn't really deal that much damage. So upgrades do really matter here. You really feel like there is a huge difference whenever you put in the points in the upgrades. Obviously, you need to spend a few of those bucks there that you gather by making sure that you complete those challenges that you have. You have daily challenges, you have challenges just overall that you need. Let's see if I can...
Oh, Ventrificus,
there's a player behind me.
There's a pincer movement.
There,
oh.
Yeah, it's just... I really missed... I'm so used to seeing things from above now, spectating, that it's a bit hard, but it's the last 10 seconds here, and I really think that my team is just going to do the job for me, and that is going to be it. That is going to be the victory here. That's how we roll, Danny, okay? That's how we rank up.
Yeah, obviously. Of course, for you, it's quite difficult to be here in Ground Zero.
On the MVP screen.
MDLP did good, though. I mean, he was able to find, like, what, 3 or 4 eliminations against you, so that was pretty nice. And, of course, folks, you might be wondering, what on earth is going on here? Well, of course, it is simple. We still have some technical issues to deal with. Until those are sorted out, we will have some, you know, Guns a Boom action going on here. Of course, when Ficus was playing here, did you?
Did what? I just earned a few
rank
points there, so.
Not bad.
Free points. Free points. It's your turn, Danny, now.
It's my... it's on the same phone. Okay.
All right. There we go.
Phone.
Give it a go with mine.
New settings. It does look nice, though. Okay, let's go.
It is going to be good. So we're going to jump into another match until we are still waiting for the teams to get it on with the semis. So do apologize one more time for these technical difficulties that we are experiencing here, but hopefully those will be resolved in the nearest minutes. In the meantime, you still have an opportunity to grab
you don't
a
have
beverage.
any heals or grenades. What is this?
It's hardcore mode. It's called being a man, Danny. You don't need heals or grenades. You need thoughts and prayers.
Well, at least you do have the Blade Master button bind, so that's pretty nice.
All right, let's see how you do on Paradise Island here. It looks like the team is going to be spreading out evenly, and the first strike is going to be made by you, Danny.
There
Excellent job. Even the double elimination comes through here. You need to be careful. The triple is there as well,
Come on,
and my stats are being boosted sky high. Can you get the fourth one? It is not going to happen, as Cherry War will force you to bow down, but the capture point is still in your favor, and an 80-point solid lead right now. It doesn't look like that the red team is even interested in recapturing the point here. You need to be careful. You're out of armor right now, slightly falling back. Obviously will help things out here, and getting those 2 eliminations does mean that the red team needs to fall back a bit more, regroup. That player seemed a bit lost in the corner there. And
no, I'm just that good. You're
just that good, right? Well, speaking about that, Apoiko did have a different idea, and it looks like he's going to go for the point capture here as well. And non-stop protagonist was looking to make sure that that doesn't really happen. So chat, let us know which one of us two is the better player here. I really feel like there's a lot of people supporting Danny. And just let me know if there's somebody at least on my side. Looks like you have a pretty decent flank here happening, Danny, as well. There is a player joining in, and 300, basically a 300-point lead in your favor, as you were eliminated by player 5H2. I can't really recall the full number there.
Well, I can't say I'm having a bad game.
What's your game plan, Danny? What's your game plan? Let me know.
Right now I'm going to go for a big flank. I'm going to hold this position right here because now I know the players will have response. So now I'm going to be taking them away from range. There we go. Take down one. A second one as well. There we go. And I'm going to get back away. No, I can't get it done. The guillotine gets the better of me. So yeah, basically, I saw some of those players being eliminated there, and I thought, okay, this is now the opportunity in which they will respond, and I could try to punish them walking out of their spawn. So that was basically, the thought process.
Okay, well, looks like the red team is going to go for that point capture, but you seem to be on the top of your game right now, even getting to get double elimination there as well. Once again,
that was a flick. A flick of the wrist.
That was a flick of the wrist, you say. Well, you need to be careful. These players have respawned. They have full armors right now, and they can withstand a lot more firepower than you. Of course, that is if they even pay attention to the fact that you're there. I really feel like that you have been gifted opponents right now.
I don't know. I think they're not the best out there.
Danny, you're not better than me. Stop arguing.
What are you saying? How much score he got? 244.
Yeah, give them the same map, same opponents. Unstoppable. There's even an unstoppable teammate that you have there. So I really feel like that the red team is not enjoying particularly this map right now, considering that there is a 600+ point lead with 1 minute and 50 seconds on the clock here. Show us.
Aw. Come on, I was low on HP, and you don't have any heals, which is just ridiculous.
As I already said, play like a man.
All right, let's
There's
see.
no bandages in war, Danny.
What? What do you mean there aren't any bandages? There are bandages, there are medkits, there's everything in war.
Auto medkits, yeah, you wish you had some. Okay, the perfect aim comes through. The Blade Master. Oh, you missed twice, Danny!
There we go. Come on, I'm on a new phone. I need to adjust to it.
That's just excuses. Well, it looks like you are going to secure the victory here, and sitting at 15 eliminations, I'm pretty sure you are going to be the MVP, but you might be contested there by another teammate of yours. The blue team, victorious, and at the very front, congratulations.
Contested? I just absolutely dominated the game.
Well, Colossus had an unstoppable moment there. So.
But I got double eliminations. I got triple eliminations. I got them all. I was defending the point. I was capturing the point. I was doing everything for the team. Come on.
True, but that is exactly what is required from a good player. Let's have a look at the chat and see if we have any news from anyone watching. Yes, indeed, Casme, we are waiting for the ESL match. That is absolutely true. So we are waiting for the game to continue before we can resume with the semifinals. Bit of an issue happening there. Already said, do apologizers. Commentators got Blade Master for the first time.
Blade Master. Oh, what? No, I've gotten more Blade Masters, you know?
How many?
Many,
Many. Okay,
a lot,
apparently. Right, 2 is
thousands, thousands of Blade
thousands.
Masters.
Thousands. Okay. Right. I really. Excuse me. We are Gunrag. You are in the chat there as well. We are waiting actually as well. Everyone here is waiting for things to progress. So we are just trying to see what else interesting stuff we can bring to you while that is still happening. Support playing. Yes. Support might also be playing, and that might be why they're not answering. I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, they are playing the game though, so I guess there is some
everyone
excuse
is,
in that
yeah,
regard.
obviously everyone is playing the game. It would be, hey, you never know. Maybe the support has like this final rank up match that you cannot leave. There's
Absolutely.
like serious points on the line, right? Getting into the top 500, getting that insignia might be a thing on the tables. You don't know how things might go here. So, yes, indeed, we are waiting, same as you. What else? What else we can find here? Any interesting news from anyone? Wasting time. I wouldn't say that because we do get points for the victories, and hey, it's my account, so
It
3
is
points.
true, you know, victories on your account, not on my account.
Yes. Okay, we can actually play with viewers. Actually, that's a thing we can do. Yeah. All right. Right. So this is my player profile. You can definitely invite me. I am level 12, as you can see. You can add me as a friend, and let's see if we can get a match with the viewers in. Or do you want to go for it, Danny, or should I do it?
Let me do it. I'll see how it goes. We'll see how the matches will turn out.
Okay, so the ID is 611-67201. Add me in my friends list, and we'll see if we can get a match together with you guys. I have no notifications just yet, and Danny will give it a go first, just to see how he can stand out above you, or can you actually prove Danny wrong? You have all the opportunities in the world right now to prove that Danny is no better than you guys.
We'll see about that. But obviously, in this case, this should be quite the interesting matchup moving in here. Gonna be, of course, guys, come on in here. You may not be able to qualify to like the top fours here at the Southeast Asia region, but there is a possibility, like, for you to come here on the big screen, being shown here on stream. You're gonna feel as if you're a pro gamer. So that's definitely an experience of a lifetime.
Well, I'm not getting any invites just yet. Might be just my phone, so I'm going to quickly restart the Guns of Boom game here just in case it is, but it shouldn't really
Yeah.
either, man.
Blame the application.
Blame. I'm not blaming the app. Okay, let's just get that clear. But yeah, join me in game, or Danny, that is, in this particular case, and let's see if we can get a few matches rolling whilst we are still winning. Make sure that you prove that you're better than Danny.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily going to happen, depending on their levels, obviously. Maybe they've got themselves some sick guns that I am yet to unlock. But yeah, obviously, for those who are still wondering what's going on here, a quick debriefer. We're still looking for the technical issues to be solved here as soon as possible, so we could actually bring you some high-level Guns of Boom action. Not us just plebeians playing. No, some high-level. Yeah. What?
Yeah, speak about yourself. I'm pretty fine.
Yeah. Of course you're fine, Beneficus. Playing team deathmatch. Oh, did I just got eliminated? How did that happen? Well, Beneficus, you got reactions of an old man.
That is probably a hint towards the fact that I have my birthday coming up and I'm getting older, so I'll just take that as a pleasant compliment that you are thinking about me and remembering. So we do have invites coming in here. Let's see.
Oh, there you go. This is nice.
Confirmations. Go ahead, Danny. Pop away those accept buttons. Start a match, and let's see how you play together with the viewers. And let's see if you can. Do you want to set up like a goal? Let's see. They were talking about the production is saying you'll need to make a lobby, so you'll need to add those players there and press on the.
Yeah,
there we go. Add member. Yeah. In the meantime, well, people in chat were saying.
Oh, level difference is too high.
Well, just keep adding them.
Oh. Level difference is too high, though.
That is absolutely untrue. All right, well, you can do it with your account. Can we ask the production to swap the IDs around? Ah, there should be games soon. Well, that's good word.
Games.
Oh my
I do like
God.
games. That's nice. That's
Happy
very
days.
nice.
We're actually going to see more Guns of Boom action happening soon, but until then, we'll need to wait a few more minutes. At least we have how they say usually the motion has been set, or it's been set in
Yeah,
motion.
it's been set in motion.
Events have started to happen here, so hopefully we are approaching a resolution to the situation, meaning that we'll be able to move on with these semi-final matches. And as well, it's quite typical things like these happen during the last week, isn't it? It's just the stream doesn't want to let us go.
Yeah, they want to keep us here. They want to have some more Guns of Boom action. It's obviously going to continue here, folks. Don't worry about that. Guns of Boom will still stay here. We're going to be playing some great games. You're going to be seeing some great games as well. Obviously, there will be a bit of a pause. Everyone needs to take a breather. It's been exciting stuff.
True.
Let's take a quick pause. It is after all the summer. Then once we do have our wonderful breaks, then we'll get back into some more Guns of Boom action.
Yes. Well, let's see if maybe someone in the chat knows a bit more than we do. Gudrog, you still there, or you're already in the games? Let's see if I can find the chat here very quickly. Right, something that I don't really understand because it's not in English, but that is a comment from Gunrag, so probably best I don't read that one aloud here. Right, 100 points all the ways from Blaze. Okay.
Oh, I got myself a pretty nifty YouTube notification. Apparently, Gentrix has just released a new video explaining the league system. Hadn't really seen it. Just got to pop the notification. If you've got some time, be sure to head on over to Gentrix YouTube channel, support your fellow pro gamers, and hit the subscribe, ring the bell, that sort of jazz.
Shinoy is saying today is off day for the stream.
Is it?
Does it feel like a day off to you?
No, it does not feel like an off day. It looks like we have spent some quality time here, though. Obviously, I'd love to see some games going on here as quickly as possible, but I think they're going to continue on relatively quickly. For now, there's still some pauses going on. What you see?
Heisenberg says he has movies to see at 8 o'clock, so yes, Heisenberg, I would love to join you in the movies as well, but we won't be able to do that. We still have a lot of streaming ahead of us today. We'll still have the Europe region to look at and the NA as well, so they are plenty of matches. It definitely doesn't feel like a day off
that's
here.
The great thing.
Hey, Heisenberg, let me know what movie you're watching.
This is like the great thing. Huh? This is Guns of Boom we're talking about. You head on over to the movies. You still got your phone out. Don't make any noise. So communication is going to be somewhat difficult, but you can still play in from the movies. Why not? That's an option.
Like actually playing the grand finals match in the movies. My mic.
And then you win, and you step up, yeah, and then everyone's thinking, "What is wrong with you? Let us see the movie. Come on."
Everyone's saying movie time, 8 p.m.
Movie time.
Okay, so apparently there were some technical issues from the admins on ESL, and hence the delay. Those have been resolved, meaning we can now resolve the initial issues that were there, and then we should be ongoing with our matches. Happy days. Greetings, Earthling, says Unicorn Hunter. Well, greetings to you as well. Hello. Right. They didn't get the point, Heisen, says Rody. What point? Is there a secret laying in the 8 p.m. movie time thing? I can't really think of anything. Is that towards us, or is it just some sort of inner joke you guys have that we are unknown about? All right. Who are these low-level guys, says Desi. I don't know. There's an introduction at the very beginning, so you can see our names and nicknames there. But one more time, that's Danny, I'm V, and we are casting the Guns of Boom game. Show us your level.
Yeah, that was kind of passive-aggressive there coming out from Epicus. Yeah, show us your level, man. I think it's going to be higher. I think it's going to be higher than mine and yours, but obviously, that's why we're doing the casting. We do the playing from time to time.
I would wish I have a bit more time, to be honest with you, just to actually approach this game to the fullest, if I could say so myself. But having your phone going off all the time with like phone calls and things that need to be arranged, it's a bit difficult to not be disturbed mid-match. Obviously, you can turn on the Do Not Disturb settings, but then I'm going to miss a few crucial things in my life. Can't allow to do that, really.
Yeah, obviously, imagine you're going in there for the Blade Master, then you got a call from your loved one, and you got to make the choice, Blade Master. Or
Loved one.
Or loved one. 50-50. I'll go for the Blade Master. Easy. Blade Master, you can get it done easily.
Okay, right. Well, anything else about from the chat? Someone is late still for the movies. Unluckies. Hey, studio teams are ready, says Sanyam. Okay, I really hope that is the case, but I still haven't received word about that one. I mean, obviously the teams are ready to attend, but there are still things that need to be clarified before that.
So wait, now we're going to be watching the prestigious versus Indian Wolves matchup, if I'm correct?
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that we are gonna be watching the second pair. It should be map number 3, semi-final number 2, map number 3, and the score is 1-1, meaning this is going to be a tiebreaker for whoever makes it into the grand finals of this last summer split week. So, I'm really no. Okay, right, so bit of speculation still about the scoreline there, and we are still waiting for an update.
Yeah, because we obviously left it off at Farming Complex. Remember, there was Farming Complex.
Like
it seems like years ago when we did have, Farming Complex, prestigious versus Indian Wolves, in which I remember the players disconnected, and since then, that's where all the troubles began. That smile, that damn smile.
I know the feels, Danny, but this is, well, look, at the end of it all, if you look at it from a bigger perspective, a lot of the technology is being used to provide the opportunity to actually cast mobile games, first of all. Second of all, having like a tournament system in place that automizes everything for you. There's a lot of robotics and technologies involved, and as we all know,
say robotics.
Things just sometimes don't click as they should, and that's the moment where a person needs to attend to it and actually fix it. So obviously it is not going to be delays, but this is all towards a greater future, Danny. Every single time you resolve an issue, it shouldn't really happen again, and therefore this is probably the only time we're going to have such a delay. Right, still comments about waiting on the match. Blaze wants to find out who made him admin. That's probably someone in chat. Says, right, 6:30 p.m. in the evening here, meaning there's still an hour and a half for Heisenberg to make it to the movies.
Oh, I could get it done. Especially if you're going to be riding like public transportation. All you got to do, hop on in, got your portfolio out, play the game, and there you go. Maybe secure the grand final victory here. Of course, in the bus. In the bus. That's epic, isn't it? Think about it. Like,
as long as the bus doesn't hit like a hole in the ground.
Yeah, but imagine how many people can say, oh, I've actually won an esports event by playing it on the bus.
Boyan, I'm not really sure I should be reading out that loud, so I'm just going to skip that one, but point taken. Series lasting longer than certain series. I mean, yeah, well, it does feel like a saga at this point with unexpected turns of events. And as always, things happen unexpectedly, and you need to figure out ways how to deal with it best. And so same goes for in-game. Yep. You need to know how to react to certain situations in order for you to be the better player. Eisenberg says, dude, I don't want to play in public transport. Well, that is true. The production team is saying that is the reason why mobile gaming is so great. Whilst I do understand, but yes, like having call-outs from Guns of Boom of players' positions or just in general what you want to do together with your team whilst you are alone on a public transportation probably is
not the best choice.
Not, well, I guess the true question is how confident or socially awkward do you feel in those moments? Like you being on the bus and they're suddenly like, okay, there's a flank happening, and everyone's like, what
flag
going on?
Yeah, they're probably going to think you're not all upstairs. Probably going to think you're a cuckoo head, so...
Not all upstairs. I was like, what are you talking about? How much prize each player gets who will win this final match? Danny, how much money do teams get?
Isn't it,
it's
$400 in the first place?
Yeah, $400 in the first place. So if there's 4 players per team, that means each player gets $100. There you go, Desi. What is going on here? Tamai, we're still waiting for the issues to be resolved, so bear with us here. We are nearing that moment. Heisenberg says, I'll be driving and my girlfriend can play from my phone, if that's okay. I don't know. I would check with what the rule book says about that, but hey, for the sake of a show, in my subjective opinion, it's all good.
Should be a good showing.
All right. What we can do is, we can have a look at the brackets one more time, just in case if anyone was tuning in now. I do see new faces in the chat, so we will remind you one more time what went down on here today. So the first semifinals we saw was between Cyclone GG going up against Saviours, where Cyclone GG did manage to secure a convincing 2-0 victory, laying down dance moves and so on, and we will be continuing on with the second semi-final game with Prestigious going up against Indian Wolves, where Prestigious have managed to secure their first map in their favor, meaning for Indian Wolves it's make it or break it now. They absolutely need to grab the victory on that second one to even take it to map number 3.
Yeah, that's the one thing they're definitely looking for to secure that victory. Of course, that's going to come down to them winning Farming Complex. We obviously talked about in the past, that Farming Complex could be the sort of map where an underdog is able to shine through. And Prestigious, securing the first victory here, I think, yeah, maybe there is a possibility that they might just make it 2-0. Why are you so happy, Beneficus?
I'm just enjoying everything that's happening right now. People are engaging in the chat. We're talking to the people. The team's talking to us. Everyone is talking and having a good time. Oh my God, we do have a lobby. Meaning we are waiting just for the players to jump into that lobby, and in the nearest minutes we'll be able to resume the second semi-finals of the day to find out who will go up against Cyclone GG and make sure that Heisenberg isn't late to the movies.
Absolutely. That's our main goal right now, to make sure Heisenberg isn't late for the movies. Of course, for that to happen, we first have to jump into our second semifinal game, which should be going on relatively quickly here, folks. Of course, for those who are wondering what on earth happened in the semifinal, it was 1-0 there for Prestigious. They were able to win the very first map. It was, of course, Old Factory Team Deathmatch. And now this being the second map, Farming Complex, been talking about how a team like Prestigious, being the underdog, might just be able to pull this one through, make it 2-0, definitely up for grabs, or it might just be Indian Wolves bouncing back, making it 2-1.
Okay, so definitely interested to see how this one plays out. I'm still hoping for that classical, well, not really classical, but at least the battle between the first and second place in the standings, meaning that I do think that Indian Wolves could come back into this one. But if Prestigious start off with a strong lead, and especially if they very early on establish a 2-point capture, not allowing for Indian Wolves to re-grab control of at least 2 points, it is going to be very problematic for Indian Wolves to actually come back into this. And as always, a lot of it is going to be riding how these engagements go and what sort of weaponry the players are using. The G launchers, always a pleasant sight to see whenever one gets picked up. During this summer split, we've seen a few. We saw even a triple elimination with the G launchers. So that was last week, wasn't it?
I'd like to see last week.
Or the week before. I think it was last week, yeah.
In which, that happened. Pretty impressive play. That would be great for a frag movie. I'm not going to lie.
A Guns of Boom frag movie.
Absolutely.
There should be frag. I've actually never thought of searching them. Let us know in the chat. Are there any good Guns of Boom frag movies that people have made, or should we perhaps talk to the production about?
I think I've seen one. I'd like to say that was probably by Gentrix, I'd like to say.
Okay.
I think so.
All right. Well, Heisenberg says, if we are late for the movies, it's your fault. I'm not getting scolded by my girlfriend.
What? It's not my fault. I'm just doing the talking. They're the ones doing all the nitty-gritty technical stuff.
Yeah, this is the problem of being a commentator, right? I don't have a secret keyboard here, Heisenberg, where I'm pressing buttons and like press go now. I'm just here to communicate what is happening.
Heads. That's it. We're just talking heads.
Talking heads. As they say, usually during war times, the first person to fall is the one who sends the message. Because in the olden days, if you were to arrive to take a message from one king and send it to the other, and if the king didn't like what you were saying to him, it was your neck on the line there.
Kinda, but you also do have the saying, don't hurt the messenger.
Don't hurt the messenger. Yeah, we're just passing like things on.
Knowledge.
Right? I already hurt myself by showing how I play, so it's just really no need to do so more.
Oh, but don't worry. Come on, Vitificus. You're going to get better. We talked about how you're going to be able to reach like top 500 and just, a breeze. Quickly. Easily. No problem at all. Hall of Fame.
Insignia.
Absolutely.
It's happening. I'm gonna if I get into the Hall of Fame, I swear to God, I will print that thing out, frame it, have it on my desk at all times, even here.
Have it on your mobile phone.
Turn the camera toward the production people. I want to see their faces. You don't want to see their faces.
Neither do I. Neither do I.
No, it's all good fun. It's actually a pretty big camera, and I'm pretty sure that I am not even allowed to walk close to it. So, yeah. Sorry about that one. Ain't happening this time, but if you are a really good digger on the internet, you might find the faces of the people behind it. Who knows?
Ooh. So you're saying there's
it's
a
challenge. It's a challenge. Let's see. If you can find who are the people behind the scenes, then I'll think of something special how I can pay back to you.
Really? That is... Wow, that's a wager.
Heisenberg says, yes, kill the messenger. That's the Indian way. How is that the Indian way? You'll need to talk more details then, my man, because I really don't know. But, yeah, is there a tournament? Well, this is the last week of the summer split, week number 6. We had 6 long weeks where a lot of the teams have been battling out for valuable points, and the team that is going to land in that first final position, pretty much already known, is going to secure a position in the next big event upcoming soon.
Yeah, of course, the next Pro Series event should be quite a fantastic affair.
What is going on? Sunho, the situation is that we have a lobby ready right now, so we are just waiting for the players to join that lobby so we can resume with the second semi-final match. Shendy says, I know who are behind the scenes. Interesting.
Whoa.
Interesting.
What
so
is
we have an inside man.
Ooh,
Any leaks?
Inside
Someone is leaking pictures, probably. We'll need to talk about that afterwards. We are, of course, in an undisclosed location, Area 51.
So what you're saying is that someone might enter our established home here.
If they can find us.
Well,
I think it would be very interesting for a lot of people to actually see the behind the scenes, but that is something that needs to be organized with the team here. Definitely cannot make any promises and even more so any predictions if that will ever happen. But I must say it is a very interesting experience for me as well, just in general, to come in the studios every time, know how everything looks, know what you see in the picture as well. And yeah, it's I definitely do recommend, if you ever have the opportunity, whenever you're like attending an event, see if you could find out where the production room is and see if you can get close to it, because a lot of things are behind the scenes and stay behind the scenes, and that's where all the interesting stuff goes on, apart of course from the actual matches themselves. So Boxer in the chat, that was you, Boxer. Okay, now I see. Right. Sridhar says, yes, I came, no Gov Studio, and took all the pictures.
Whoa.
Okay, we'll need to roll back the security camera footage here and see who was that man. Why is the admin ignoring us? I don't know. I really don't have the opportunity of messaging. I think, yeah, there just happened so many technical flaws happen that basically every team is right now happening before they manage to resolve all the issues in order for the things to move on as they should, right? Because as I already said, a lot of it is riding on an automated system. So when one chain of the automated system goes out of the order, basically everything else sort of falls apart a bit there as well. And it takes time to put those pieces back into place so everything would resume normally. Whose fault is this delay? Probably the admin's internet provider.
Straight up.
Yeah, it's no lie here. Guns of Boom or ESL. Won't be able to comment on that one. I really not entirely sure. Probably the players know better, but no comment. Don't know. Right. So, production. Do we have any updates? We have the right lobby. Everyone has been invited as well. One team is ready right now, so we are just waiting for the other team to be absolutely prepared for the battle to be to commence, so to say.
Yeah, of course, let's hope the teams will get ready here as soon as possible because we've been deprived of a grand final.
All right, shout out to Karina. Hi to you as well. Greetings to the casters. Thank you very much for joining the stream. We have a match on our hands.
Wait,
do we?
a
The
match?
The
What is
happy
this?
faces of the production team
That is insane.
does mean that we will be starting shortly here. And I
This
can't
is
wait. I
nice.
have... Huh?
Finally, Beneficus, we've been deprived of Guns of Boom action for so long. I haven't seen a G launcher for so much time that it's about time we get this one rolling. Obviously, it will be Farming Complex, for those who are wondering, because that's where we left off the series. But we still haven't jumped into the game. So maybe we're just going to have to wait a bit
No.
longer.
It's
None of that.
That's it.
None of
That's it.
that.
We are launching this one. Heisenberg, you're going to make it to the movies. I believe you should believe too as well, because we will be jumping into this match extremely shortly here. I'm getting worried that a button called start might be pressed in the nearest seconds. That's it. Like I'm out. Should be joining back in though.
Yeah, I should be able to jump into this one as soon as possible. Because obviously, folks, we've only seen okay, we have seen top 16 being played out. One of the matches, we obviously saw a top 8 best of 3. And of course, we got to see the semifinal being played out, one of them. And now we do have our second semifinal, which should be played out relatively quickly. How quickly? I don't know. I think it's going to be fast. But there are some people, I hear some laughter in my ears. And I'm not going nuts, folks. I think there's something going on that you may not like the answer of.
I don't know what you're talking about, Danny, because
I'm talking about
everything's
delay,
fine.
I'm talking about another possible delay.
Okay. Yes. No. Heisenberg says no breaks now. Have matches one after another. We know, man. We know. So. All I can say is a huge sorry for the delay. Okay, who else is in the chat? I have a prediction. Van Hessling is saying, I have a prediction. Cyclone GG going to be... I'm not going to read that word just because I don't know what it means, just in case
That's smart.
I don't get punished for it. Because, you know, anything that comes out of my mouth, I sign off on that.
Absolutely. Don't read the words you don't know the meaning of. Simple. Life lessons.
Yeah.
This is the great thing about our stream.
Life
You know,
lessons
you might
about...
think that this is just a stream where you get to watch some Guns of Boom. No. You get to learn some, idioms. You get to learn some life experience, that sort of stuff. This is a great stream. Quality stream. And you also got to see some live action gameplay from us. So what could be better than that?
True.
Probably professionals playing Guns of Boom, but what do I know?
Okay, well, Blaze is already thinking about the next big event there. Blaze, best of luck, indeed. I really think that you guys are going to do a very good job showing to the world what Southeast Asia is all about. Still waiting.
That's some nice music playing in the background, right?
Yes, can we get the music a bit louder, perhaps?
Yeah, come on, bro, let's get that music louder.
Just a tiny bit.
Oh, that's not tiny.
That is The chat is going to kill us again.
We don't deserve. Don't deserve that.
I am going to be eliminated by the chat. Jesus. Okay, so that word apparently means best players. Van Hessling, no offense, I will have to double check on that, but if that is true, I will make sure that I read that out aloud next time. Don't read the chat so that you won't get fired for saying bad words. That's exactly what I'm trying to avoid, Dennis, and I'm trying my best here not to read anything out loud by accident. I almost fell in that trap once, and it was just because it was like a long mission, and I thought it was a really good completed idea, and I just ran through it, and at the very last word, I was like, whoa, heartbreaks.
Whoa. Oh, I gotta hard stop that.
Yeah, tiny, louder, ridiculous gamer. My ears are still ringing because like whatever you guys hear, we also hear it in our headphones, and if they turn up the music that loud, trust me, it's loud. I literally don't hear Danny then.
What?
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 Oh, that's still we can still combine that with me becoming old. There is unbelievable news. There is a transition on our screen. It says farming complex control point.
Way.
Could it possibly
Way.
Could it possibly be the second semi-final match? Will it begin? Will we find out who's going to move on into the grand finals?
No!
And it is going to be false hopes.
No, not like this, Beneficus. I was excited. I was looking for some Guns Boom action, but no, it's not happening. It is going to be another pause from what I can tell. No, Beneficus, it's okay. We can come through this one. Don't worry, folks. We're going to be able to power through this one. It is taking some time, though, not going to lie. But we should be able to power through this one easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Rethinking about life choices.
Rethinking about life.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Denisa, you say thank God, and I say
yikes.
Yikes.
That's gonna be a big yikes from me, dog. That's a big yikes.
Okay, it's getting hot in this place. I do apologize. I'll have a quick sip of water.
Can't blame you. I mean, we thought, right, farming complex. I hear the jingle. I'm thinking, right, the game should be happening.
Yeah. All right. That's it? No, that's not that it. They're jumping back into the lobby, to my knowledge, and we should still resume shortly. But this is a good indication as to how close we are to resuming those matches.
That is true. Imagine just a couple of seconds here or there, and we're actually could be playing some Guns of Boom. Seeing, shall I say, some Guns of Boom gameplay.
Yes, that's exactly how close we are.
I'm surprised our fellow over here isn't satisfied about all of this.
He's just forever happy. Like, I need this guy's energy.
Yeah.
Great job on teeth.
Yeah, that's some big teeth.
Weapon, though?
Legend? Crazy guy. What's he doing? Level 1 legend in his hands. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
Yes. Sridhar says it's way past time. LOL, we know.
It's way past my bedtime, Metaficus. What am I still doing here? I should be going to sleep.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can have a power nap if you want.
A power nap does sound nice.
Very nice, I like. Right, looking forward to the Pro Series in Germany, says Ladylike. Actually super excited to see that event, but we still need to get to it. Just finish it, says the broker. I wish we could.
Yeah, finish it. End it now.
Finish it.
Stop. Yeah, finish it.
Well, how long? Do we have an exact ETA as to how long? That's probably funny to ask right now, but any ideas? Production team says we are working on it. Here we go. Yeah. Funny. You know what I like? I like that people in chat, there's the unoptimistic people have become silent, and people understand these things tend to happen, and like we just need to deal with it as any other situation.
Realistic.
But this is also something that, as a caster's job, puts you in an interesting situation, right? Because you never know what is going to happen. For all I know, the electricity can disappear, and then we need to come back and actually explain how that could potentially happen, or you know,
So
if
this is how an RBMK reactor explodes.
yeah. Why is there a delay? Broker, the delay is there because there were some issues at one stage with the automated system, if I'm correct, and we don't know still 100% as to why that issue actually showed up in the first place, but because it is an automated system, everything else sort of crashed and fell behind as well, and everything needed to be put back into place. Please reply. Just did. Only 50 viewers left. Ridiculous Gamer, I do see the viewer count, and I do agree, but it's most likely just because everyone else has left to grab the beverage. Some
or playing Guns of Boom. You know,
playing Guns of Boom as well, yeah.
Absolutely.
Like,
you tap
especially
out
if you're
of
watching on
YouTube,
your phone.
and then you hop in the game. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Well, Shadoi says he's not leaving, so thank you for sticking together. We are not leaving either. Gamer Royale says hi, and Odie Sivis says hi. Hello to you, dear viewers. Thank you for joining us and for having the same amount of patience that we do.
Yeah, because patience right now is key. We're still looking for a fix to happen here, folks, because we should be jumping into, by this point, it should be kind of over, but now we still have to see our second semifinalist being played out. Of course, we did have the first map being played out. We knew the victory, prestigious, 1-0, but now it's still a possibility to see even all three maps appear, and maybe it might just be 2-0 prestigious, possible, up for grabs, or it could be Indian Wolves bouncing back. It's been quite a while since we've talked about, you know, the two teams there, prestigious and Indian Wolves, who's going to be able to come out on top in the matchup, but at this point, yeah.
All right. Well, how much time to wait, good sir? White Devil is asking. White Devil, as I already said, we don't really have an exact ETA. Basically, everything will be started as soon as possible. We were able to jump into a lobby, but for some reason that thing crashed. So we're just trying to rebuild everything back here together with a helpful team from ESL. So just making sure everything is top-notch before we get back started with the games. Brocker says, you guys are awesome. You are awesome. Thank you for staying with us.
Oh, that's nice.
Right. Ladylike says, I think when I finish showering, the streams are still going to be running. Okay, is this a teaser or is this real life? Farming complex control points? Let me know. Are we live or are we not? Is this the battle happening? Can this finally be real? The first strikes have been made. The eliminations are there as well. And the capture points are already being taken. Indian Wolves battling it out with Prestigious here in the second map of this best of three. And they are currently in the lead with 2 capture points in their pocket.
Yeah, Indian Wolves looking pretty good right now, of course, in this position. They're going to continue on with the lead here. Prestigious trying to, shall I say, Indian Wolves continue on with the lead here. Prestigious trying to fight back valiantly, but it's looking pretty difficult. Indian Wolves already 2 points being captured. There's only a control point to contest with. That's going to be a trade going on there in Indian Wolves. With the 2 control points still in their favor, they're beginning to run away with this one.
Yeah, the points are starting to rack up in their favor. Now Prestigious trying to make a move back in there. Ghost is losing his life extremely fast to Mighty, and he's going to grab the victory in that engagement there. Chatri finds the perfect aim at the nick of time, and that is going to be the B captured point contested now by Prestigious here. Rary really needs to be careful as PD coming in with full force, gets the Blade Master out, and tries to recap the A capture point. The C is still in control of Indian Wolves, and Indian Wolves are in the lead with 250 points.
Oh, this lead is going to accelerate. Look at them. They have all 3 control points. Yes, B is still being contested. In fact, it will be going in favor of Prestigious, or will it though? Ravi is here. He's definitely ready. And we do see the G launcher coming in. Damage being dealt, but no eliminations as of yet. The big flank though. Oh, Ravi's in fine position, but no, Mighty's going to read him like a book. And by this point, Indian Wolves, they had at one point 3 control points to their name, and we just see the point difference because of the 3 control points. Now, in fact, maybe there's a world in which Prestigious have all 3 control points, but no. A is being captured, B as well. Indian Wolves fighting back.
Fighting back indeed with 2 minutes and 55 seconds still remaining. I don't even think we're going to wait for the time to finish fair. Looking at how quickly Indian Wolves are able to obtain these points. PD, though, does find the double elimination there. So that is a good contribution to the side of Prestigious. But looks like it is not going to be enough as Ghost gets the G-Launcher out. The grenades are going to be used as well. And together with Moriarty, Ghost, and Hope, all three Indian Wolves find an elimination in their pockets, meaning they only need a few more points before they're going to be able to close this match out. And this does look like that map number 3 is on the board for us here, as Indian Wolves on Farming Complex seem to be unstoppable.
Absolutely, Indian Wolves. We thought, okay, this is probably a map in which the underdog might shine through here, Prestigious, but that is absolutely not the case. Control points, obviously, a Farming Complex do go in favor here of Indian Wolves. They performed stellar. At one point, it was what, 1,200, 500? Something like that. That was the very
close
dominant
to that,
scoreline.
yeah. So super dominant. Of course, a lot of it came on the back of the triple cap that they had, and they were very close a few other times as well as obtaining the triple cap. And just the engagement seemed to go in Indian Wolves' way, especially on that final note there as well. Let's have a look at a quick look at the MVPs, see who really stood out in this match on Farming Complex. And from the side of Prestigious, that was Mighty with 152 points, 9 eliminations, 5 assists, and 8 deaths.
Obviously, Indian Wolves did have Ghost, 185 scores, 6 eliminations, 4 assists, and 7 deaths. But obviously, one thing to note here, even though you might see Ghost here in the scoreboard, but we also did have contribution from his teammates as well. I think Ghost was sitting at that comfortable scoreline, but also had his teammates chip it in as well, and that's the important bit, especially here on a map like Farming Complex. You can't do it all by your lonesome. You need your teammates.
Well, for those of you who are huge fans of Team Deathmatch, the next map is exactly that game mode. It is going to be Military Warehouse between Prestigious and Indian Wolves. The best of 3 last map here for the winner. He's going to go straight into the grand finals, is going to meet Cyclone GG, and we'll get to find out if Heisenberg gets to make it to the movies in time.
Yeah, let's see if that's going to be a possibility. For now, of course, a third map will be upon us. We'll see if the other best of 5s will end relatively quickly. The way some of these matchups are going to be played out, there might be even a possibility of that. Obviously, what you see in Metaficus?
Oh, Broker says, I'm reaching enlightenment. Started watching when I was 23 years old. Now I am 90 years old. You and me both.
Yeah, that is... That's one way to reach enlightenment here. Tune into the Guns Boom broadcast. You're going to start off as a wee bit little baby. And then you're going to grow into a teen and even a strong young man or young lady. Anyhow, Military Warehouse. Finally, we can see where this best of 3 will take us. Who is going to come out victorious? Is it in fact going to be Indian Wolves, or might it be Prestigious?
Let's see who gets to shoot first here. And it looks like Ravi Reddy is going to fall to Chatri very early on now. Moriarty goes for a break, but Chatri comes up with a triple elimination, and he still escapes unscathed from that engagement. Excellent job coming out from him here. Now Hope trying to change things back. The Blade Masters are coming out as Moriarty will finally put the nail in the coffin for Mighty here. And Ravi Reddy already pushing forward here, not allowing for Prestigious to move out of their base.
Ravi Reddy now moving around with the Avalanche, hoping to find something here. And in this current situation here, Prestigious, yeah, they were in a pretty fine lead, but Indian Wolves still in position to bounce back. Ravi has no backup to speak of. If he goes down, he does. There's nothing to help him out, but as they say so, Hope is there, overlooking things with a sniper rifle. Hope picks up 2, and in fact, the scoreline has been diminished. Look at this. A G-Launcher coming in from Ghost, and now the positioning from Indian Wolves. It is superb. They don't even have to play this one aggressively, but they will. They're still Prestigious. They were once in the lead, but it's now Indian Wolves who have got the lead.
Only by 30 points so far, and with 3 minutes and 45 seconds still remaining, a lot can change here with Tragedy finding openings like that. PD able to follow up onto Ravi Reddy as well. Ghost is in extreme danger. Potentially is going to fall here, forced to fall back deeper behind enemy lines, and even finds Cool Buds there as... Buddy, excuse me, and PD once again comes up with a double elimination. I mean, the player really stands out today. You can see that they are playing their hearts out right now, and Indian Wolves still in the lead by 40 points.
G-Launcher coming in. Like it does take down PD, and this point Indian Wolves. With the lead they have here, you might prefer to see a bit of a slower style of play, but now they're just going out here one by one, getting the trade eliminations, and that is good enough. PD, though, does take down Ghost. If he's going to continue on racking up some of those eliminations, he might even get himself a triple elimination, maybe even a merciless. If he gets that done, the star player might just change it all here for Prestigious.
2.5 minutes remaining here, and Indian Wolves are now making a break for it. They need to get a lead back in. Moriarty gets an excellent engagement with the G-Launcher there as well, gets the elimination onto PD, and this sets up Indian Wolves in a power position right now. Can't really say that for Hope. He's struggling to stay alive, but actually he's going to fall eventually, and another double elimination coming through for PD, even a triple right now with the Blade Master on top, and Prestigious on the back of this are still staying close to Indian Wolves.
I mean, I thought Indian Wolves are just going to run away with this one, but that's clearly not the case. Prestigious out here to play mighty. Does find one with a G-Launcher. Looks like it is going to be an aggressive play coming out from Ghost. Look at the setup. It's working out quite well here for Indian Wolves. Prestigious still on the back foot, trying to get something done here. Moriarty out here trying to get those eliminations. Does find one on Cool Buddy. However, he's out here by his lonesome. I wonder if he's going to go for the aggressive plays. He is. He's on here at the planks. His buddy Hope goes down, and there's only 6 points right now separating both squads.
PD falling back here for a moment. Moriarty in the meantime will find Chaudhry, and that is the opening. Indian Wolves might need the Ghost now. Finds the Blade Master onto Cool Buddy, but 2 trades come back, and still Indian Wolves will prevail at the very end there, meaning that they will advance on into the Grand Finals. So it is going to be Grand Finals time of Cyclone GG between Indian Wolves, and let's see who will come out on top here. We're actually not going to cast that third, fourth position game due to the limited time we have, so we will pay attention to the Grand Finals right now.
Oh, there we go. Grand Final time. It's been a long time coming here, folks, but obviously we'll now finally get to see the end here of the Summer Challenger Series. Obviously, it is going to be a affair of Indian Wolves and Cyclone GG. What a way to end it all.
The first and second place in the standings.
Yep.
What better way to meet them as in the last week in the Grand Finals to battle it out once again as to prove who is the better team. But in the standings, we can obviously see that like between looking at the teams from the standings, it is already a decided affair, but there's obviously brag rights.
Yeah, brag rights, but also nice. I wonder what's like the track record throughout the Summer Challenger split. How many times was Indian Wolves able to come out on top against Cyclone GG, and vice versa? I think it's still going to be favoring Cyclone GG.
Yeah.
But
overall, it does favor them.
Probably going to be something like 4-2. I'd like to say 4 wins, like for Cyclone. 2 for Indian Wolves, maybe?
I don't know. The summer, to be honest, actually just flied by in such a fast fashion that everything's just so mixed up in my head. Let's have a look at the MVPs, though, from this last engagement and move on into the Grand Finals time. We are going to be moving into that shortly here. So from Prestigious, you can see PD with 180 points, 12 eliminations, 3 assists, and a death. That is very impressive. But what is more impressive is Hope, Danny.
Yep, 212 score, 13 eliminations, 4 assists, 7 deaths. Obviously, this was team deathmatch, so you do want to see one of your players to pop off, as if he does pop off, if he finds those double, triple eliminations, you name it, then he can actually really excel the scoreline and might actually go in favor. But obviously, you really need to find some good timing, some good eliminations, and obviously rack them up together. That's the way you can able to, shall we say, like, rocket your scoreline.
Yeah, exactly. So we will not waste any time. There isn't going to be any pauses. You have literally a few moments now if you want to grab yourself a beverage, if you want to be really sharp for those grand final games. And now coming into a best of 5. So the first map that we're going to see is going to be Europe Street. We're going to be following up with Atrium, and then there's going to be Military Warehouse. And if it gets to it, map number 4 is going to be Subway Station, and afterwards Skyscrapers. So I really feel like this map pool for best of 5 really feels like super competitive, because all of these maps are slightly tricky to play.
Yeah, especially one of the one of the maps at least that stands out for me is obviously Atrium. It is so hard to say, like, who do you count as a better team on Atrium? Would it be Indian Wolves, or in fact is it Cyclone? I honestly think it might be to some extent, maybe Indian Wolves to some extent. I don't know, but one thing I do know for sure, it is obviously grand final time here, folks. We're about to jump into the best of 5. It's been a long time coming, but we can finally get to see how it all ends here at the Summer Challengers Series.
Let's get it on. Europe Street Grand Finals, last week of the summer split, the biggest of them all. The Cyclone GG roster going up against the Indian Wolves, and on Europe Street's team deathmatch, let's see who can come out on top here. You can see cheeky positions being taken by either side right now, sort of just making sure that nobody is going to be flanking them. And Ravi Reddy is eager to take the fight and is going to take down Blaze, making that first strike there instantly. Exorder is going to be able to reply there, and Heisenberg as well, eager as ever, but Moriarty is there to trade. So we are so far going neck and neck with these positions.
Obviously, in the map like Europe Streets here, it does force out players to play it a bit more safe, a bit more methodical. In this case, Cyclone GG may not anticipate that push to go on here. At one point, there's actually Blaze to take down Ghost. Now he's about to spot out the players, or does he, though? Oh, no. Oh, there we go. He sees him and gets it done. Hope hits the floor. Cyclone GG have got the lead, and I think the way Europe Streets work here, they're going to be playing this one quite safe, but Ravi goes down in position as well. Cyclone still have the lead, but it is very minimal.
And by getting these eliminations, they can actually position themselves a bit closer to their opponent, to more unexpected corners. Now Ghost is able to find elimination onto Blaze, who likes to rotate quite a lot around this map. And you can see here as well, Gunner setting himself for an easy elimination. Still, Ravi Reddy comes out with the G launcher there, able to at least get away with the fadeaway and gets a quick dance in as well. Gunner, nice moves coming out from you, but it is still neck and neck points-wise. 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock, and only 4 points behind by Indian Wolves. So Indian Wolves are still currently in the lead, and so many Blade Masters around the board.
Yeah, we do see Heisenberg trying to spot out something there with a sniper rifle, but isn't able to get anything as of yet. In fact, in the span of just a couple of seconds, Cyclone GG were able to pull it back in their favor. Obviously, the lead is very minimalistic here. Moriarty does pull out the rifle, but it's not looking good at all here for Cyclone. It is Indian Wolves finding all the eliminations. The G launcher, it does not need to connect because they do have Blaze in that position. Obviously, Indian Wolves, the lead they currently have here, we're going to see them play this one safe. Ravi, let's find Gunner. That's going to be an elimination straight for him, and extra points in his pocket.
2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock here, and it's starting to become a bit problematic for Cyclone GG right now, with Hope picking up another elimination and Ghost getting that Blade Master there. That is an excellent job from the Wolves right now. Still only 50-point lead, so they're not out of the woods just yet. But with 2 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock here, as long as they can keep up with this pace, they should be securing the victory here, meaning the Cyclone GG will be forced to make a push here, and that's exactly what Blaze is doing, finding those 2 eliminations there. Heisenberg gets 1 more as well, and the point gap has been closed down to only 4 points, Danny.
Yes, only measly 4 points. Heisenberg got in here for the elimination. He needs to get something for his team, but Ghost gets the better of him. Shall see the better Gunner. Ghoster now overlooking things here in the mid portion of the map. He does go down and Blaze. There we go. Picking up himself a double elimination. Not the third one, though. There's Moriarty. There's Gunner with a response. And as we do see, this is a very neck and neck affair. No one's really having the clear advantage. Of course, Indian Wolves in the lead by 14 points, but their lead can be very easily diminished. Of course, Heisenberg, got to be quite careful here. Out here in the mid portion of the map, it is basically snipers galore, but it's Moriarty to take down Blaze, and Ghost getting things done here, getting his hands dirty, getting all those eliminations, and in fact, this is very close affair. Ravi is able to put things back in favor of Indian Wolves, but there's Blaze with a response, so clearly this is so close.
And finally, Cyclone GG in the lead right now with 20 points, looking to add more, but Ravi Reddy with that perfect aim does deny that for a brief moment. Hope gets good shots in right now, gets 2 heavy tags in and still stays alive, making sure he's not being flanked. In the meantime, Moriarty finding it another elimination, and Ghost now picking up 1 more, meaning the Indian Wolves are coming back into this now in the lead with about 10 points and 50 seconds remaining on the clock. This is making or breaking time for Cyclone GG. Gunner finds elimination onto Ghost here, and still Blaze. 90 points required, and Blaze just turned around the corner there. There is a player, and it's even points with 40 seconds on the clock.
This is really going to come down to these last couple eliminations. Who's going to get them? We'll have to wait and see. Moriarty, no armor to speak of. So he's going to have to rely on his teammates to get something done here. Oh no, one of the players burning to a crisp. G-Launcher coming in, but it's ineffective to say the least. 20 seconds remaining. There's a trade going on there, and it still favors Cyclone, but only 2 points. If the player's going to continue on hiding, that could be enough. And Moriarty wants to get things done. He's moving in here. There's hope with the Blade Master. It is so even. 466. Now it's 480. 8 more seconds remaining. Who's going to get it done? Ghost moving in here. Gets the perfect aim. That could be enough, but Gunner secures it. And now that's going to be it. That will be the victory for Cyclone GG with only 2 points in their favor. That was super close.
A 2-point difference, not even reaching the amount of points required. That match was finished with the clock.
Yep.
And I cannot believe it was so close. And an excellent job coming out from both sides, especially particularly I like the play from Blaze where he was rotating around the map continuously, not staying in the same positions, getting an elimination, getting a wrap around, making sure that he can find these opponents that are trying to find opportunities on their own. And this sets up us for a very interesting best of 5 scenario, especially considering all things taken apart. Next map is going to be Atrium, but before that, the MVPs.
Yeah, the MVPs of the match. There were some great plays coming in. I remember Ghost making some great impact. But in fact, it will be Blaze here for Cyclone GG. We're talking 203 score, 13 eliminations, 4 assists, and surprisingly, though, for Team Deathmatch, 11 deaths.
Yeah, that might have committed a bit too much there, but on the side of Indian Wolves, Ravi ready with 172 points, 8 eliminations, and 4 assists there. Slightly lower on the death toll, and hence as to perhaps why the scoreline was so close, but still Cyclone GG have secured the first map, and now Indian Wolves will need to come back on a map likes of the Atrium, meaning that anything can literally happen on this map. We've seen before as well where players post themselves close to the opponent's spawn, not even allowing them to come out of it.
No.
And if that is going to be the case, a triple cap again is on the board here potentially. And of course, Atrium being a control point based map in general just requires a lot of movement in the right time, in the right direction. So let's not waste any more time here. Map number 2, Atrium control points, best of 5 grand finals time. And let's see, can Indian Wolves come back into this, or will Cyclone GG secure yet another close victory? We won't see that. We will just have a look at it. Heisenberg dancing.
That's good enough for me. I'd love to see Heisenberg dancing all day, but of course you guys understand your needs. You want to see some guns and boom action, you want to see some grand finals, and you will see that. We obviously did see the first map being played out, but now we will have our second map coming into play of obviously Atrium. You know, you mentioned it a little bit beforehand, but it's a very intriguing map. You know, it's so hard to say who would be regarded as like a better team on Atrium because of its like small layout, control points, so many factors coming into play.
Yeah, the smaller the map, the more unpredictable basically it is. So it's just off the back of that, you cannot really predict how the players are going to move, what sort of approach they will take. And just in general, Atrium seems to be overall just a more of a reactive map, so you, either side is pretty much just forced to react whatever is happening. Therefore, the initial initiative needs to be good, because the initial initiative from either side sets the pace for the other. So you're just going to be playing catch-up basically all the time.
Yeah. You just
catch
have
up,
to be...
not ketchup.
Yeah, catch up. I got that. Yes, this reactive playstyle is something you have to be very careful about, because we have seen like players even, you know, pushing into their opponent's spawn or just camping out of their spawn to make sure you're going to pop out or you're going to get punished by an avalanche. So
Exactly.
obviously you don't really have... You can try to fight it, but it's very difficult at that point. So on a map like Atrium, map presence, even though it's a small map, is quite important. If you're going to get the one-up on some of your teams, on some of your opponents, you will see games where, oh, okay, Team X is somehow leading the matchup, but they're still not able to close it out. Once Team X is able to get in the spawn of their opponents, they're going to camp out close by, they're just going to be picking up all those eliminations.
Okay. Right, so if I do correctly understand, Prestigious have won the 3rd place. Oh, only the first map, not the actual play. So it's still ongoing battle. Prestigious are currently leading 1-0 over Saviours in that battle for that 3rd spot. And in the meantime, we have the players slowly joining the server back in. So we'll be able to launch that lobby soon enough here to see how Indian Wolves are going to be battling with Cyclone GG again. And I mean, I can't believe that first map was so close. Obviously, a lot of it is down to how the map is built itself.
Yeah.
But still, I must admit that both sides were playing tactically extremely well this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it was going on there. On a map like Europe Streets, you have to be very careful. You can't just go around willy-nilly, hoping to win some of those aim duels. It is it's a pretty big map.
Yeah.
You can't deny it. It is a big map, and because of its size, it requires a lot more team cohesion, teamwork, in fact. It requires you to play it safe. And one of the ways to go about it is obviously like just camping. A camping playstyle is one of the ways to approach it.
I wouldn't necessarily call it camping. I would prefer to call that a setup, right? Because you actually saw different kind of setups. So if you have a sniper in the back lines and some sort of enemy is trying to approach you in a direct line, or most likely not in a direct line, but still, you saw that both sides actually had another player sticking around just to prevent any sort of flanks happening, so the sniper could actually get a few shots in. And that is very important on a map like Europe Streets, because like you need to make sure that your backside is covered. It's so easy to flank there. And in the midst of all chaos, obviously a lot of the battles were happening towards the sidelines, not so much during the middle part of the map. And now with Atrium on the line, which is just a completely different map in general, as we already said, it's really hard to predict how things are going to go here. And as well, with the potential now of having military warehouse and subway station on the lines and skyscrapers as a decider map, skyscrapers are probably going to be the map where you're going to say that one side is camping. Because like as soon as they're going to get an advantage, if we get to that point, then the team is going to start slowing down, because obviously just running down the clock and making sure they are getting closer to the victory, forcing sort of mistakes out of their opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. Or not even necessarily forcing out mistakes, but, just playing this different style, playing it safe, and then you're just going to wait for your opponents to come into your loving arms. And you're just going to be taking them down. As brutal as that may sound, that's just how you want to approach, especially if it's like a very much an important game like decider of the best of 5. You're going to be playing this one safe. Obviously, we saw even last week, I think Skyscraper was like the first map or the second map.
Yeah.
It was one of the first maps, and because it was still the first map in like the best of 5, you've been seeing those aggressive plays. They'd be making those aggressive pushes, not playing the sort of standard style, you could say.
All right, well, we have word that we are joining soon here, so hopefully the guys are ready to battle it out and continue on with the best of 5. So let's have another look at Atrium. Grand Finals time, map number 2, week number 6. We all want to see how this one ends. Can Indian Wolves do it on Atrium, or will it be Cyclone GG running away with a victory? We'll need to find out on our 3rd attempt.
Yeah, absolutely. Our 3rd attempt here, trying to get things going. Let's see if that's going to be the case. I hope we can actually finally watch the game. How about you, Minificus? Do you like watching the game?
I like to watch the game, yes, indeed.
I also like watching the game.
All right, let's have a look at the chat in the meantime, see if anything new has popped up. I see a lot of Russian-speaking people, and somebody is asking how the summer is going. I'd say my summer is going great, but that's probably not what's going to ask to me. A bit of discussion as to still about the previous situation in terms of the brackets and so on, but we really need more comments from someone else. Can't really say much about that. In the meantime, someone says hello to you too as well, dear viewer. Thank you for joining in. We have a bit more viewers now towards the grand finals, and understandable as well that people just want to see the best of the best of the best.
Absolutely the best of the best. That's why you're tuning into this stream right now. Absolutely.
Well, for those of you who is going to be watching afterwards the Europe and the North American stream, we have actually a bit of a surprise to prepare for you. But
surprise?
Yes, yes.
What could that be, Vinificus?
Let's not spoil it. Okay?
I do
You'll
like
just have
surprises.
to wait and see. I think wait and see is the most popular phrase we have said today. Just wait and see. But indeed, yes, we have something slightly special prepared for you, so make sure that you tune in into those streams as well once those will be happening. But before that, we still need to deal with Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Hey guys, good commentary. Samai, thank you. Thank you for the kind words. This really does boost our own morale as well. So huge thanks, and thank you for joining the stream. how can we get in tournaments? You need to gather friends that you are going to be playing with. First of all, second of all, you need to register on the ESL homepage for the Guns of Boom events. This is the last week for the summer split, but you can at least have time to prepare for the next split, which should begin probably shortly. Well, relatively shortly. You'll have time to prepare, and then afterwards you can just participate by signing up. And
Yeah,
you'll have the chance to battle for real monies and positions.
real monies is pretty nice. And obviously, oh, Beneficus. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see?
Is it happening? Okay.
I think it's
Let's
happening.
try it one more time. Atrium control points. One more time, Cyclone GG, Indian Wolves. Let's see. Can these teams do it? In the meantime, we do have Prestigious securing that third place in that battle, but in the meantime, we do have Cyclone GG already in the lead here with 30 points and a capture point in their favor, but Indian Wolves are looking to get back into this. They get good eliminations here and almost get the B capture point as well. Now Moriarty approaching it, gets the elimination there, but no health remaining to survive the engagement from Gunner.
Trying to capture the B control point, super difficult, but it does work out here for Cyclone. Now they have 2 control points that they are able to hold on here, but the question is for how long, because X-Order is out here at the C control point, doing some damage, making some havoc. Cyclone GG, now they have lost the B control point. Actually, no, they are retaking the B control point. They're able to retake C as well, but they have lost A. And at this point in this exchange, it's still favoring Cyclone.
Okay, Ravi is going to fall here. Simply didn't have the health to survive that one. Hope goes for that C cap. A is already in control of Indian Wolves, so Cyclone GG are forced to react to this. You can see Blaze instantly going for that A capture point, spots the opponent as well. Ravi Reddy will run into too many opponents to survive this engagement. Goes, gets an elimination onto Heisenberg with the Blade Master there as well. Exorder gets a double elimination. Those are valuable extra points obtained here, and Hope might just find someone here. In the meantime, Ravi Reddy finds 2 eliminations of his own, so again, extra points obtained. The G-Launcher comes out and connects with Heisenberg, and Cyclone are in the lead with 100 points.
Moriarty's solo capture here. Oh, this is risky business, but they actually do get the capture. That's the important bit. Indian Wolves still trying to hold on to the C control point, but oh no, this is the triple cap. It is happening here, Beneficus. A, B, and C. This is not the alphabet here, folks. This is the control here for Cyclone.
Excellent wordplay there, Danny, as Cyclone GG have now instantly obtained a 200-point lead, and now being one map up, Indian Wolves are extremely pressured to change the situation. They have managed to regain control of control point A, but A and B is still up for grabs, and with Cyclone GG players just running around the place like Exorder, getting even a triple elimination there, it looks like that this map is already out of the question for Indian Wolves here. Cyclone GG are just closing out the final points now before we'll be moving on to the third map, and you can see that Cyclone GG just not leaving any openings for the Indian Wolves side.
Even though they might lose the B control point, in fact, Exorder is here on the C point. Thing is though, Cyclone GG don't necessarily have to hold on to the points. Now they've got themselves such a huge lead that they can simply rely on the eliminations, but obviously they want to remain nuisances. They're going for some of these caps here. They still hold on to B, and now A is being captured by Exorder. Of course, with the capture coming in, there's extra points here for Cyclone. Indian Wolves are now trying to go for these eliminations, and in fact, it's not meant to be. Cyclone able to pull it through on their second map of the best of 5.
Yeah, the second map is going to go in favor of Cyclone here, meaning that Indian Wolves now only have an opportunity on Military Warehouse to start working on their comeback here, but that would mean that they need 3 back-to-back victories to secure the victory here in the Grand Finals. And is that likely or no?
No.
Theoretically, yes. No. Why?
Because Heisenberg has to go to the movies.
Heisenberg has to go to the
movies. So he's going to pull it 150% into that third map. We'll see how it goes, though. For now, what has went on is obviously our previous map. So let's take a look at the MVPs of what has happened. Obviously, we did see some great performances from the squads, but it is going to be a gunner right now. Cyclone GG, 240 score, 12 eliminations, 4 assists, and 8 deaths.
Okay, and Hope has managed to put up 204 points, 11 eliminations, 5 assists, and 7 deaths here. So whilst this was initially close, once that triple cap kicked in, it was really in the hands of Cyclone GG already, because like obtaining that 200-point lead, and then afterwards you just need to make sure that the opposing side doesn't get a triple cap, and you should be solid on Atrium here. So as I already said, things are going to come down to Military Warehouse and 4 Military Warehouse. I mean, between these two, I'm pretty sure Cyclone are going to put in a few more dance moves again at the very beginning there, just to see if they can add extra salt to the injuries of Indian Wolves.
Maybe we could see some dance moves, but I think by this point, this is so important for Cyclone GG to secure the victory right here and right now. So maybe some dance moves will be saved if they secure the victory. Then we'll see all the celebration moving on in here. But for now, they want to keep this one smart. Even right now, here in the best of 5, we haven't seen a single dance move. Have you seen anyone bust the move?
There was in map number 1.
There was.
Yes, there was. There was. I really had to think about that one, but there was in the first map. So Prestigious have managed to win the second map in their 4th place battle. So it is 1-1 right now, if I understand correctly. It is 2-0. Okay, so Prestigious have won the 3rd position.
Yeah, so
it is a best of 5. I thought
yeah,
it
it's
was
a best of 5. You know, for the third and fourth place decider. It's a long day here, folks. Don't worry about that. So it's going to be 2-0 right now for Prestigious. Right now, they're on the brink of even securing themselves that 3rd place finish, which is quite exciting when you think about it.
Yeah, especially not seeing them so many times making it through the brackets into the semis. As I already said, it's a very pleasant note for them onto how to finish the actual split, and that should serve as good inspiration of moving forward. And speaking about moving forward here, I do hear the lobby should be ready, so we are going to be jumping into what could be potentially here the final map that we're going to see from the summer split. So let's see if Indian Wolves can have a 3 back-to-back victory streak, or will it be Cyclone GG crowning themselves kings of the Southeast Asia region? Let's see how it plays out here, right now. Team deathmatch, and first shots already are going to be made as Ghost falling low on health here. But in the meantime, on the other side, it's actually going to be Gunner opening things up here. Heisenberg finding a follow-up elimination here as well, and Blaze joins in on the battle, meaning the Cyclone GG are very early on in the lead here.
Things are looking up here for Cyclone GG right now. It's Heisenberg to take down one more, and Moriarty does respond. The response might be a bit too late, but as they say so, a flurry of eliminations coming through. There's Ravi, there's Ghost. Gunner trying to get things done here, trying to set the record straight, but that is not the case. Indian Wolves are actually able to pull this one back. Cyclone GG, yes, they had a stellar lead, but now, yes, they're able to continue on with it, but it's not looking that great.
Heisenberg now rotating around the map here together with his team are going to be looking to see how they can find these engagements, and they need a break for it. Gunner now gets the elimination onto Ghost, needs to be careful, he's on low health. Ravi ready. In the meantime, we'll find Extorted here, and Gunner taking it close. Ravi gets the exchange to get chain together with the shotgun here, so that's a double elimination in his favor. We are still going neck and neck points wise, and with 3 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock in a 2-0 situation, Indian Wolves, they are trying their best to come back into this.
Yeah, Indian Wolves, and they're so close to doing it.
Oh, the G-Launcher!
Oh, it does not connect. Some damage being dealt with the figures, but not enough to get the eliminations. And for now, look at this. Out of the blue, Cyclone GG able to find so many eliminations. And Indian Wolves, yes, they're able to try to hold this one down. But there's, of course, Ravi. Good shot coming in there for the Barracuda. Hope as well, picking up Blaze. Are they making this one work? It's possible, but Heisenberg does respond. There he is, out here with the Avalanche, taking down 2, and a 3rd one for Heisenberg. That is some very good eliminations being picked up.
Yes, but still only a 30-point lead, and with three full minutes still remaining. Look at Blaze now going deep behind enemy lines, really wants to get rid of these snipers and causing a lot of havoc behind, allowing for the rest of his team to put themselves in more beneficial situations, as both Extorted and Heisenberg are picking up more eliminations right now. But look at the health bars of Indian Wolves. They're not damaged at all here, as Moriarty gets a double elimination, even gets to fall back here and heal up in time as Hope finds another one. And Indian Wolves are only 15 points behind Cyclone GG right now. Moriarty, though? Really? Now?
He's healing. So he's healing up. I can't really blame him. But at that point, really, look at this. As they're trying to make their way out of spawn, the damage being dealt on these Cyclone GG players. Moriarty, you might want to join the fray because your buddies are going down. G-Launcher
oh
down.
My God!
Triple elimination out of nowhere. That might just change the pace of the game.
Look at the points. The Indian Wolves are back in it, and Moriarty somehow with the... speechless plays coming out right now, as 50 points in the lead from Indian Wolves, and Cyclone GG might even lose the map off of this.
Oh, that's very possible right now, but Exhorder with the response. Look at this. That point lead they had there being diminished. But as they say so, Robbie responds, and so does Ghost. It is really going to come down to these next couple of eliminations. There's one for Gope, and oh no, Blaze runs into the enemy. And that is going to be a map pickup here for Indian Wolves. That triple elimination
changed everything.
Changed everything. It was the one that decided this third map here for Indian Wolves.
Okay, so we actually spoke about the triple elimination before with the G launcher, and it actually happened again. So now this puts us in an interesting situation because it's all going to come down now on subway station between these two as to who will finally prevail here. And Moriarty, whilst before I judged his timing in terms of whenever to put on the dance moves, but it seems that he predicted his own and his team's fate with the small celebration that he had there. And of course, that is a highlight to take into account. And obviously, Cyclone GG surely felt that somewhere in their gut. You know, when you think that that's it, we're just going to be closing out this map, and then that happens. So surprising stuff coming out here, but before we move on to the next map, let's have a look at the MVPs, and pretty sure we all know who we are going to see there.
Well, let's see. In fact, the Moriarty. Indian Wolves, 212 score, 11 eliminations, 5 assists, and 7 deaths. As for Cyclone GG, you have Exhorder, 141 score, 9 eliminations, 7 assists, but obviously, you know, Moriarty, he was able to rack up that triple elimination and see how much score, the difference of score
and
is
the extra
obscene.
points you instantly gained there as well with that triple LM. So obviously that saved a lot for the side of Indian Wolves here. And now moving into Subway Station King of the Hill scenario with G-Launcher still potentially on the board is a dangerous situation for either side.
Now, folks, let's actually take a very quick look at the brackets, because obviously this has been a very long day and some guns and boom action, and obviously we have seen the victors here for the third and fourth place decider. It is in fact going to be Prestigious, securing themselves the 3-0 victory here, and I'm not sure if that has actually changed too much of the standings. We're obviously going to see that after our game is finished here, but obviously here in the semifinals, you did have Cyclone GG winning it against Saviours 2-0, and obviously it was Indian Wolves getting it done over Prestigious 2-1.
Okay, so now we need to find out who can Cyclone GG finally crown themselves king here, or will Indian Wolves be the one? So let's see at this moment one more time how Moriarty sets himself up for this one, and that's just beauty. Guns of Boom, that's what it gives you.
They didn't see it coming. They did not see that one coming.
All right, well, speaking about moving forward here now, Subway Station King of the Hill scenario. And again, what could be the last map here on the summer split. Let's see, can Indian Wolves actually live the dream of 3 back-to-back victory here? But it looks like that Cyclone GG already have started without us here by getting that capture and early eliminations and a 100-point lead above Indian Wolves right now. What is happening, Danny?
An early point cap, that's what's happening here. But Efficacity, they're able to hold it down for such a long period of time. Indian Wolves having a difficult time to respond. There we go. All of the teammates of Indian Wolves have been wiped out. And here's Cyclone G. They're back. Fresh reinforcements holding things down. Now it's going to be Blaze and Gunner. Very good setup there in control point itself. Moriarty does get the Blade Master, but Gunner should still be able to hold this one down. If Moriarty goes down, that's still the control point for Cyclone.
But it is already a 250-point lead for Cyclone GG right now, and with 4 minutes on the clock. Yes, there is still time for Indian Wolves, but do they have the health even to do this right now? Is that Blaze will find elimination here, but both Moriarty and Ghost get retaliation eliminations here. The capture point still is in favor of Cyclone GG, and with the clock running down, Indian Wolves need to find a way on this capture point. Gunner is going to be in grave danger right now as both Moriarty and Hope get eliminations, but Exhorder is the only one who's able to respond as Blaze comes in, but not for long here as he's trying to go for that cap. Hope is on a elimination streak.
The thing is, though, Cyclone GG are halfway day to victory. Now they're going to try to get the recapture here. It's looking very plausible that the grenade being thrown out deals the damage, but not enough. Moriarty trying to get things done, but he cannot succeed, though the G-Launcher connects. Extra points there for Indian Wolves, but Cyclone GG almost leading this one. In fact, leading this one twice to the scoreline of Indian Wolves.
Yeah, Cyclone are just simply not allowing Indian Wolves to approach the capture point, and rightly so. They're just waiting so much time from Indian Wolves, even getting an elimination streak there from Blaze with the shotgun there. So it does look like that it might be decided here, but a triple elimination comes out from Hope, and only now he gets taken down. And Gunner staying alive for a very long time. Moriarty is going to be falling low health, but you do have two Indian Wolves players on the capture point right now. Exhorter does get elimination here, but a double elimination comes through for Ravi Reddy, and only now Indian Wolves recapture the point and looking to see if they can hold on to it. The reinforcements that are coming in through for Cyclone GG and Indian Wolves, question mark, can they actually even do it now?
That's looking very unlikely at this point. Cyclone GG leading this one. They don't even need the control point by this point. If they're going to find the eliminations, that's going to be enough. Hope right now trying to get things done, and he does succeed. Eliminates Heisenberg in the process. Meanwhile, Indian Wolves are able to cap the control points, but let's be real here, folks. Only 12 points remaining, and it's going to be 1,000 here for Cyclone. They secure the best of 5 victory. It's going to be 3-1 in their favor, and they secure yet another title, yet another cup here at the Summer Challenger Series.
Excellent job coming out from Cyclone GG, and of course, well played from the Indian Wolves side. Still was a pretty close game overall, especially that we haven't seen Indian Wolves in a while in playing in such a form. So a good job. Obviously, this does once again show why exactly these two are in the top 2 positions. Let's have a look at the MVPs and see who was the king of the subway station from either side, just to give last shout-outs here. So Cyclone GG Gunner, 203 points, 10 eliminations, 4 assists, and 7 deaths.
Yeah, and obviously Indian Wolves have got Hope, 237 score, 12 eliminations, 2 assists, and 5 deaths. When you take a look at some of these MVPs here, it's surprising to note there, Indian Wolves, even though they did lose, they had the better player.
Yeah, exactly. So I will remind you one more time that there is going to be Europe streams happening today, same as NA. Make sure you tune into those, because we do have a bit of a surprise ready for you guys, but about more of that a bit later. And as well, just in general, man, it's been a very interesting summer split. Do you agree?
It has been an interesting summer split. Can't deny that. We see some teams climb higher and higher, some teams crumble, some new rising stars, which, well, heading into our next season, things are looking interesting.
Exactly. So make sure that you tune in. But before that, we will have one more final look at the standings, just to see how on which note we have finished off. Just in general, though, I am super surprised still to see that during so many splits, Cyclone GG essentially have held on to that first position pretty much uncontested with whopping point leads. So let's have a look at those and see how many points are in the pockets of Cyclone GG, and it should be roughly somewhere in the 550 area, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there we go. 550 points out of 6 weeks. That's only, what? That's 5 victories and 1 third place.
And obviously for Indian Wolves, we did have one of the weeks, I can't remember which one, wasn't it last week or the week beforehand, when they weren't able to secure themselves even a top 4 finish. So Indian Wolves kind of struggled in that regard, but they still have themselves formidable 425 points to end the season.
Yeah, and down the contested kings of the 3rd position, the Unkilled roster sitting at 275 points, closely followed by Saviours with 240, excuse me, that is. And 5th place currently taken by Dracarys with 115, but that is also, if I'm not mistaken, probably split with a few other teams there until that 8th position. So overall, extremely big congratulations to Cyclone GG for grabbing yet another victory in this split, and best of luck in your future events to come.
So yeah, Beneficus, it's about time we begin wrapping up. Honestly, folks, we did enjoy our Southeast Asia broadcast here. It was a lengthy one. Not gonna lie, it was pretty lengthy. But of course, with Southeast Asia being over, you know what that means, folks. We will have, of course, Europe and North America being covered right here at our studio. And of course, don't tell this to anyone. Beneficos, don't listen. But there will be a surprise you want to definitely tune into. So be sure to tune into the European broadcast as well as the North American one, as there will be a surprise awaiting you all. For now, folks, hope you enjoyed the broadcast. The name has been Sir Danny alongside Beneficos, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye-bye.